I got it, ate it, went halfway through it, and been like, there's a fishy ingredient that I'm picking up here. It had fucking pretzel in it.
Why did it have pretzel?
I don't know. Now I know that they don't like flat out market themselves that they're a gluten-free bar. Like they
Ugh.
don't actually have a sticker that says gluten-free on it. But all the bars are gluten-free. They don't have anything in there to make them not gluten-free. But this one they rolled out, they just said we're gonna put pretzel in it. It's like it tasted good,
It's good,
but
but it
fuck.
will. Yeah, but now it will kill me. That'll be a good pretzel, but fuck. It's just like, why did you choose today to do this?
Now, Robert Irvine, I found, has a protein bar line like that, where it's supposed to be like those, the meal replacing bars and all
Mm-hmm.
that. And just like these MetaRx ones, they're quite filling for what they're giving you. And, but the thing with his is he had one that was peanut butter and jelly. That was the bar's flavor. I got it, I tried it. It tastes like being in the first grade eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So it's not even just that it tastes like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It tastes like being a kid eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich again. I had to keep looking at it to see if it had some kind of jelly filling in it, and it doesn't.
Hmm. Jelly.
Of course,
Huh.
eating a
That
bunch
sounds
of
good.
protein bars for lunches then makes me sit there and be like, apparently I just have to start like, just going out and just lifting so I can get those fucking gains.
Okay, stream looks like it is. Why do you have two viewers? Oh, I'm one of them. And now it's just me. Okay. I think we'll catch quite a few people tonight. We'll see. I can actually see chat now.
You only have 7 monitors.
So in. My game is now online for
Oh,
Steam.
the VC redistributable has to do its thing.
Uh, Now, do you want to be the? I think. Well, I played for a bit, so I think I want you
I
to
haven't played
start
any of
with.
it. So this is
Yeah,
probably going to be a me doing character creation stream.
which is. I'm laughing at you and Brian, who's now watching. He's like, prove it.
My God, why more launchers? So many fucking launchers.
I. I'm still mad at Blizzard, that's why I don't mess with Battle.net. They can put their games on
Oh my
Steam, but I can straight up just look at their thing and go, ignore.
Hang on, apparently NVIDIA threw out a driver, and I didn't get any update for that new driver threw out now. Complaining, we really want to update to run right. Fucking fine, Jesus Christ. Anyway, because every time I try to use NVIDIA's little um, what is it, the GeForce Experience.
Yeah.
Every time I try to use that to update the drivers, it doesn't work.
GeForce Experience doesn't work for you?
It behaves like it's doing the update, and it tells me it downloads the update,
Yeah.
But then it like just kind of at some points just goes, I guess I installed enough of an update and just stops doing it. And then everything else looking at it is like, your drivers are all fucked up. And then Experience is like, I'm pretty sure I updated. I'm pretty sure you're on this version, bro.
I don't understand.
I fucking hate how Chrome does downloads now. I fucking despise it. I can't tell if it downloaded or not. It did not. Okay, there we go. Button actually clicked. I hate how it just like shoves everything in behind one little button in the corner. I liked it when I had the bar on bottom, where it would just line up my different things I've downloaded, so they were right there, so I could quickly access them. So when it's a zip folder, I could quickly just click on that and just rip that guy open and plop the things out, and then I just say show in folder. It goes right there, and then I take that zip file and I chuck it in the bin, and then I clear out the bin. But now it sits up there, and I'm like, okay, are you done? And then when I click on it, then it's like, okay, you're only showing me 2 of my downloads. There's been times where I've had to, like, when you're trying to put a mod in, it's like, okay, I need my compatibility patches, though, and unfortunately, it's not a one-stop-shop solution. I have to do 16 downloads of, like, 5 kilobyte files to just tell it, hey, leave that tree there. And then you gotta download them all, and then now everything's there, and it's all a mess, and nobody puts everything in right, so you're downloading things, and it's like, okay, it says this mod compatibility patch, the other one is RO73Q24-447BQTT UV-05691217, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this zip folder? But then I open it up and it's like compatibility patch. This thing. I'm like, why didn't you name zip file that?
Man, you're. First off, get off Chrome.
What? I got my passwords and my bookmarks and my other bullshit.
You can import all of those things.
And I already have the issue of, for some reason, Chrome is my web browsing browser, but then I also always have open next to it with a different Chrome account because I've hijacked the one that we technically had as a group account at one point.
Oh, you
I have
both.
Firefox open that exclusively just sits there and plays YouTube. Why I don't do that on Chrome? I don't fucking know why I put it on different browsers. At some point years ago, I thought it made sense, and I never changed.
It's a good reason not to do it now, because YouTube will just force you to watch ads.
Well, I got the premium, and that way... Because on Firefox, I have the superior version of ad block known as script blocker.
Same.
It makes watching the absolutely legal anime stuff very easy to deal with.
Brian has the same issue you have with the NVIDIA drivers.
I mean, like when I sit there and just tell it go get the manual version, I download the manual version, it goes 100% flawlessly fine. Well, it's 100% flawlessly fine as a program being run on Windows can be. It runs fine. It's just if I try to do it with the installer built into Experience.
If ever I get the chance to live with you, please let me look at your computer.
Why?
just Just to work through all the jank you've told me about over the years.
Which jank specifically are you referring to?
Right now, it's that NVIDIA thing.
It's a program. Look, I also understand that I tried to download Baldur's Gate 3, and then it's like you don't have enough space on your C drive, and it's like, right, you keep always trying to default to the C drive, which I was trying to keep it separate, and I looked at it and saw that on my 4 terabyte regular hard drive, I only had 233 gigs left, and on my solid state, I only had like 98 left. And on my M.2, which is only I think it's only a 250 gig. No, I think it's 500 gig. I only had like 76 gigs. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Found out, shit, there, I should probably actually uninstall some things I'm not playing anymore. And then I'm like, fuck, where did all this space go? And then I looked over, and I still have all those random mods that I just have over there because there's some of them I can't get no more. So I have to be the storage.
I know how that feels. Oh, I lost him. I lost Tom. Well, I lost Tom for a moment. I will see if we can get him back. I hope his internet didn't just go out. Because we haven't streamed together in several weeks. Let's mess around in the character creator. Thank you for letting me skip. Ah. Who are you? Oh, reset. Let's see, I have 2 Dragonborns. I kind of want to choose something else. Kind of. Half Elf, Wolf, Githyanki, Deacon, Elf. Abstinence and long lifespans will judge homely native nature's power, fortune, and light. A light. Speed. Weapon training, dark vision. Huh. There's a. Oh! I'll give him another call. Hopefully I get him back. Survivors. adopt must drive adopted with this pragmatism. Sorry. While the life's one delight in the galaxy of tennis, the soldier reject her attempts to overthrow the leader of the Elven Pantheon. God, weapon training is a very superior dark vision and identity. Yo, man! Most commonly faced in common face in Payment, he was known for their tenacity, creativity, and his capacity for growth. Civil militia and versatility. This is born in mind flight enslavement. Oh, okay. Githyanki, Bride, the ancestral sea, top rank dragons, bringing their silver swords and might to bear against any trace of illicit menace. Astral knowledge, sonic mage hand, and martial prodigy. Yeah, I remember that. Dwarves. Striking as the hounds and stone dwarves are some of the finest warriors. Minus Smiths and Faerun. Dark vision. Charm, resilience, sickness, poison.
I was telling you.
There you are.
Tits.
What?
I installed the driver. So rather than just try and launch it, I decided I will do the proper thing that I know the program would really like me to do and do a restart. Since my operating system is on the previously mentioned M.2, that only takes 10 seconds.
I was about to say, it was like, he just cut out, and I was like, did his internet just go out again? I don't think he could handle that.
No. The internet didn't shit the bed again. It'd be unsurprising if it did it, because U.S. internet services, but that's not what happened. Fortunate that all that effort I was doing earlier, DAS is gone now, because when I tried to open the program so I could save it, my mouse apparently did a stupid double-click thing that it's having a problem with, and closed it. It's like, fuck!
Okay. Let me know.
And I turned off autosaves because I tried to have autosaves on, and that builds up. That takes up space, real fucking fast.
Oh yeah. Let me know when you launch the game because there's a setting I want you to do before we start.
I'm getting it to launch up. Signing up for a layer. I don't.
No, you don't need to.
Launch
You don't
game.
need to. You don't need
Just
to.
launch
Just
the game. Do I still have to click get started to make it go?
I don't think so. No. Yeah.
No, I don't need your digital deluxe upgrade. What the hell is Vulcan?
Vulcan's another. Fuck. I'm not good at these technology names. It's an alternative to like DirectX 11.
There's an alternative to DirectX?
Yeah, I think
Wow.
Vulcan's open source,
times
but I
you
can't remember.
What times we live in.
I don't feel like cleaning it at the moment.
We have to sign some kind of agreement since we're doing a stream thing and we're playing this game, and it's like you can't play these parts because that makes spoilers or something like that.
Not that I know of. They're not Atlas, so don't worry. If Atlas only did that because it took them a shitting ass long time to make Persona 5, and they were like, we don't want it spoiled at the first day it's out, so.
Just get the fuck over yourselves.
Honestly, yes, that is the sentiment everyone had, and that's why it took a while to even try playing the game. That is sort of considered the modern JRPG. Well, sorry, Sterling kind of redid that. But
So
that version of JRPG.
So it's asking me if I want to show nudity. And I'm in the thing of, I have a feeling where I can see it is during character build. And then I'm struggling to know when I would really be seeing any more of it at that point. You're just gonna leave it on because I actually give a fuck about the nudity part. It's just you want to sit there and be like, all right, we're gonna do the nudity part. We feel your scream with a penis, and it's like I legitimately don't like looking at that thing. I don't even like touching my own. Like this is now. It's not like I'm going to vomit. Oh, this is vile and disgusting. This is really fucking annoying. Like what the fuck.
You can leave yours on. I'm turning mine off because I'm the one showing the internet.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That's the slider? Why is that the slider? That's weird. Alright, I'm going to probably do the classic blunder and the mistake that I always do. No, I'm going to try and adjust a little bit up from it. So, I have noticed, and this is why I still have this AOC monitor, because I really, really like this boy. Its big selling point was that it does black extremely well.
Oh yeah,
Super well.
Yeah.
I have learned having this monitor, it for most games does black too well. When you're on this screen and they're like, all right, adjust your camera correction, brightness, and it's like, here's these logos. You need to see this one clearly, and this one, just see it, and then this one, you like, really want to just barely see it. If I go and follow their instructions and make the one where it's like, all right, I will barely see it, then they'll be like, we're going into a dark room, and it's like, it's just black. I know you put a torch in there for it to light, but that thing is under the Egyptian plague of darkness right now. Or I guess a biblical plague of darkness. It was thrown on the Egyptians. And I'm just looking at it and be like, this is an unrealistic amount of light coming out of here. And it's like, oh, right, because you're trying to overcompensate for everybody who has monitors that can't do black good.
I still think it's a way off for people to even get OLED monitors still. They're more widely spread, but they're still like $500+.
I mean, because of this monitor, I have not felt any need or reason to go to a QLED or OLED monitor because it does the blacks so fucking good. I mean, so like, probably one of the best examples to try and like put off what it's doing. It's a little hard to see with games because, like I said, they like to do that overcorrection with stuff. But like, I did a lot of those realistic lighting and darkness mods onto Skyrim one time, and this is when I really stumbled into the dangerous problem with the monitor I had, and got it to basically have the game like, don't do any of your assisting or corrections with blacks and darkness, because the game was kind of a little bit of what Gopher does, of make it so that when it's dark, it's fucking dark. You have to have a light source. I did that. When you go into that dark area and you have no light source on, like say you just go in that dark area, it's completely black, and you just look at something so the entire vision is just black. Zero light in the monitor's view whatsoever. It is 100% indistinguishable from the monitor being off. Now, you might hear that and be like, well, yeah, because it's black. If you look really closely at your monitor, if you're in that situation where you have a screen that's just filled with just black and you're looking at it, on the absolute vast majority of monitors, it still will give off a glow. There is a faint glow that's still in there. This guy doesn't do that. It crushes black to the point that most like digital artists would be like, how the fuck is it crushing that black so crushy? it makes dealing with contrast and stuff so weird, to the point that like I've shared you with some of the images I've thrown up as my background. I actually have no idea how they look on a different monitor, and they probably look entirely differently, because that's the issue I had with the one for my phone background. It looked completely different in lighting and tone on my phone than on my monitor. It's a pain, but I love it. It's a pain, but it's a pain I'm okay putting up with. Because the benefit of having those blacks just crushed into fucking oblivion is so good.
Okay, where are you at now?
I'm in the menu. I'm in the options. Well, I was on the start screen. Some people walked down some stairs, and then I went to the options screen there because I'm pretty sure I had to options things because you said you wanted to options things.
Yes, and the gameplay tab, it should be the first tab on the left. Scroll down until you see Karmic Dice.
Okay. With a K?
Yeah. Yeah, make
Okay.
sure to uncheck that. We don't want that on.
What's that? Karmic dice avoid failure streaks while keeping the results mostly random.
It
That's what I
influences
need to
rolls. Yeah. The sentiment online for most people, especially D&D players, is you want the authentic D&D playthrough, take that off.
They're just standing there.
They're just
Are they looking at me? Are they fucking looking at me?
Who
Don't you
is?
fucking look at me.
Who is?
I will throw you into Barrier Peaks. I finally get to run through Barrier Peaks now. I'm so glad I'm running through Barrier Peaks, but Jesus Christ, updating it into 5e is just like, this is a problem. Do I new game or do I multiplayer?
I believe it's new game for you.
Here to experience placing story before combat, boundless adventure full of challenging choices, tough companion, emphasizing strategic combat. It's D&D. This isn't the setting for that. Oh my god, go away, security alert. You don't even do anything. Go away. That Windows Defender firewall keeps always thinking it actually does things. It's like, I have 3 programs that tell you, bitch, get the fuck out the way.
I legit want to take Windows Defender off. It doesn't do nothing. But then Windows will just scream at me for forever saying, you got rid of it.
But I need to sit.
You should be in a cutscene right now.
I am. Those sweet crushed blacks.
If you can, show your perspective as well so I can see what you see.
Oh, yes, the thing that we do with the thing. I mean, it's a fucking mind flayer doing mind flayer things. I have the general idea what the fuck's happening.
Thank you.
There we go. And I can't even tell you about those sweet. I can't even be like, look, gaze upon the sweet, sweet crushed blacks, because that's not how this works. Oh,
Gross.
so, unpopular opinion time.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably one of the least efficient. Well, that's not how that view would look if it was on one eyeball. That really isn't actually probably the best route to get to the brain space.
From the eye?
So the problem is the way your eye connects to your brain is not as intuitive as you think it is. Because you would think that it just, you got eyeball, brain right there, so just tiny little patch cord, doom, I'm in the brain. It doesn't do that. It takes a longer way, it's really annoying, and it's not very intelligently done. Did it! Woo! Dude, the past 3 fucking weeks, my YouTube has nonstop been fucking debates with a lot being from Arn Raw and Matt Dillahunty. And then lately I have been watching Arn Raw's video series where they are doing the read-through of the Book of Mormon. It has made me decide I need to start carrying these Bluetooth headphones I got forever ago to the job sites, because there's been a couple days where I'm sitting there with my Bluetooth speaker playing those, and I stop and kind of look around me and realize people aren't working around me anymore. It's like, I'm doing blue-collar work. I'm probably pissing off people. What the fuck is the dark? Oh, these are people. Gross.
These are people.
I first looked at it, and it's like, okay, race select. And then the first one I saw, because I was looking to see what they are, and I just looked at pictures. And I just saw what looked like lizard, and I'm like, why is the fuck is it called the Dark Urge? And then I looked over, and like, oh, these are named people. Gross.
Tom, real quick before you get immersed into what is quite possibly the entire stream tonight, please go online.
Yeah.
On Steam.
Oh my fucking god, you're so needy!
I am.
You're so fucking needy, bruh! Oh, you mentioned the house thing. So speaking of that...
Alright.
Because you had floated the idea, just like you had just done minutes ago. What is a time frame you would be fitting in with that? Because I know you and Marcus signed a lease.
What's right now? August? Our lease is up in May. So,
okay.
Around May, well, end of May, sorry, end of May, early June, around there is when the lease goes away. So, if I'll ask about it again, like what the plan is, and see if that's, one, if it's still happening, or two, if I'm really like staying here for another year, which... It's fine. I could make it work, but it's a small ass apartment. If I could move, I would. But yeah, around there.
Because I mean, for me right now, I'm just stuck in the phase of trying to hear back from these mortgage people. Because one is just ghosting me, and the other one actually just sent me an email not long before we started here.
Why is one ghosting you?
I need to check a thing. I'm gonna use human to check it because elf bullshit. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh. No, not the main menu. Just go back one step.
Hit edit character to go back to what you were doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a weird way.
That's
a weird way about that.
Not the most intuitive thing, but yeah.
Okay, so you can't edit body. Alright, I don't know how to... I mean, you can do that, but I don't know how to judge it. Okay. Cool. Yes, custom. I don't know who these fucks are. Fuck them. Yeah! There's a person.
Yeah, it's me. So... Oh, good.
Man, what are we playing? What are we playing here? I assume it's 5e with just the base 3 books.
That's... Yeah.
As far as player character is concerned.
Correct, yes.
Okay. What are we feeling like today? I'm gonna play. You need to be throwing word stuff out there too.
I need to be talking?
Are you just relying solely on me again?
You had a lot to say for a while.
You could just jump in at any point, bro.
I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, Tom, but you have one of those voices that just, like, overpowers others.
Because people always yell at me that they can't hear me.
That's my problem. And you know how I sound.
Yeah, your mic's always peaking.
From what I've experienced, Druid is especially useful. It's really strong.
What from your experience?
From what I have experienced, Druids are pretty strong.
Yeah, it's a 5e druid, bro.
Mm-hmm. I just want to make another Dragonborn. I don't know why.
I mean, you can. What are you throwing out into the mix?
I'm thinking of going sorcerer this time around. Because
Sorcerer.
yeah, in my single player playthrough, I'm a paladin, which is nice. And then on the game I played, a quickie I did with Marcus and Brian, I played as a ranger. So this time I want to try out magic and make sure that does what it's supposed to do.
The ranger gets magic.
Yeah, you do.
Not a lot of magic, but it's magic.
Let's see, I'm copper and silver.
I don't know if I want to play ranger since I'm playing a ranger in my Sunday campaign that we're going through barrier peaks. And we're in the Mystara setting just to make everything more ridiculous.
Alright, let's be...
And they have a ranger that is so easy to run. Because he's a forest gnome ranger that is basically functionally incapable of taking things seriously.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, like, we're at a point where we're having to deal with a bunch of shit from death gods, and I'm just sitting there being like, hey, whatever. I don't care what they got to say.
Got it.
I keep going to the wizard, and it's like, stop dying. I always have to follow you around, because we're a party that always splits the party. Perfect. Flawless advice I can give anybody playing D&D. Always split the party. But we always split off, and I'm always going with the wizard. And it's just like, well, I'm fine by my own. It's like, no, every time you wander off, you turn a corner, and then somebody from down the street goes, Harrius! And then there's a bunch of people trying to assassinate you. It happens every time. Plus, you've died 5 times. Like, I don't think you're gonna get another go.
He'll be fine
He's
on
like,
his
well,
own, and has died 5
and then he was like,
times.
he started protesting, so then he's like, well, I did kind of tell the Death God to go fuck himself the last time, so.
Where to next?
What was that?
Let's
I
head the
was
locals
given
a
an
fresh.
oath bow at like level
Something
5.
just woke up down here.
It's been fun, but
Wow.
It's opened.
but somebody let the
magic
vampire run away that my oath bow was targeted at, and everybody was like, well, the city's gonna be sieged, and it's like, but the vampire's over there. I know, my bow tells me so. So we should go mutilate him. I'm like, no, these other important things. It's like, but the vampire is over there, and my bow is angry. I had to deal with a week of my bow being angry, and then we go and fight the boss of this arc. We go and fight the Lich, and that vampire shows up. I'm immediately drawing the bow, and I'm like, all right, we're killing the fucker. The bow's sitting there like, we're finally killing this motherfucker. And everybody's like, no, he needs to give us a thing. And it's like, okay, you got the thing from the soul. I can kill the fucker now? And it's like, no, we can't. It's like, what do you mean, no? And then he flies off with his magic bullshit. It's like, we're letting him get away. We're fighting the Lich. But that's the fucking vampire! The Oathbow finally timed out against him, but if I ever see that guy, I'm still just going to murder the fuck out of him. And then if anybody's like, why did you kill him? Be like, my bow was angry and thirsted for blood. Specifically, his blood. And somebody's probably going to be like, but vampires don't have blood? And it's like, then it's a fucking metaphor. We also had an incident with the town guard where we had to get chased out of a town, and I'm just sitting there while everybody's in the inn, and we're all freaking out because we're going to have to get chased out, otherwise all the town guard is going to come in and try to beat us up. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, the innkeeper told us we had a free meal and board. Why are we running? And I'm just like all the way out to the ship being on there. It's like, what the fuck? Like, the fuck? What the fuck? And then our human fighter in the party ended up saying, it's like, well, because he wanted to know the mechanics for the bags of holding that we had. And he's like, well, could we fit the halfling or the gnome in there? And it's like, well, they can't take people. And it's like, well, you're not people. I'm like, excuse fucking me?
Well, you're not people.
He was trying to... I know what he was trying to do, and he did the common thing that slipped, which is difficult when you're dealing with, you know, ocean of species. Is you just say people, and that just means human, because that's unfortunately the only one we get to deal with.
And we get that wrong.
Yeah. So when he said people, he was, of course, just meaning, well, they're not humans, so are the rules different? Because the rule didn't actually get quoted at him that it's not people can't go in, and he said humans can't fit. So it's like I knew where he was going.
But someone had
But I
to take
still
it.
lorded that over him for a while.
You have effed up now. I'm going to capitalize on it.
But he was also extremely jealous because I'm running around as this little, like, 3'5" gnome. I'm a very tall gnome. But the 3'5" gnome picked things up with zero effort because I found a belt of giant strength. And he's like, I'm the fighter, though. And it's like, well, bitch, I found this. I'm in melee, too. And then he got very upset that the tiny man could lift more than him. Yeah, I'm 41 pounds. Yeah, I'll pick up this 400-pound boulder in one hand like it's fucking nothing. And then when people are like, but physics, and I'm like, I know it doesn't make sense. That's why I get to say a wizard did it. Oh my fucking god, what am I playing, Leland?
You went on another rant, and it was just like, oh, there goes progress again.
I'm trying to have my brain get to a point. That's what I'm trying to do with the rant. I'm trying to have the inspiration show up in the back of my head where it just goes character and it's like visualize the character and it's like boom, there's a character.
I'll tell you about my day, and that'll give you time to think. Okay.
I hope your day was not more bills showed up in front of your face, because that's been my week and I hate it.
You said as much, so yeah.
Well, more happened the day after that happened. The day after I posted that, Francis called and said I was past due on $2,000. And then the next day, I got a piece of mail from the people that scanned my elbow and said, yeah, you owe us $500.
Seriously?
Yep. Because apparently when you're a physical therapist, you are apparently raking in 500 fucking bucks an hour, because I had 4 hours of physical therapy over a month and they said that they wanted over $2,000. Don't we have the best healthcare system around? Woo!
I have two stories for you then, because I got hit with that same shit. So, let's talk about the physical therapy thing. So, for a while, I had back issues. And when I told my doctor about it, because when he examined me, he was like, oh, you're kind of tendered back there. So, instead of, like, outright saying, go to, like, get it, go through the expensive thing, like, get a, like, MRI or whatever, or CAT scan or whatever, X-ray, just go to physical therapy. And I was just like, isn't that still expensive in my head? But I'm like, it must not be, but I'm trusting this guy. So I go to physical therapy. It was easy enough to sign up and do it. But when I got the bill, I was like, it's like, damn, $1,300 for a month. But when I looked it up, when I finally got the mail about it, it was like, hey, you have 2 under your name. I was like, why do I have 2 bills? And because I went to do it at the end of May and June, I had like 8 sessions, and one session happened to be in June. I mean, in May, before the rest are in June. They still billed me like full price for the one session in May. I was like, the fuck? The program is monthly, so they get to charge me twice.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what?
Get fucked, yo.
Fuck me, I guess. God.
Mm-hmm.
Credit, my back feels way better. But I was also like, who in their right mind would pay this?
Insurance companies.
God. Yeah, so... And my insurance, oddly enough, didn't touch these physical therapy bills, like, at all. It's like they weren't even notified about it. So they're like, you, the patient, owe us this money. And I was like, okay, why?
Because the insurance company can just go, I know your health better than you and your doctor do. No.
So yeah, that's.
I do want to stay there. I do need to interrupt real quick as we're looking at this.
Oh yeah.
Some thick.
Oh yeah, you do get the thick here, don't you?
We could have a little bit more. Really fucking veiny though. But it's more than WoW ever did.
Yeah.
Orcs. Oh yeah, they're big, like Warhammer orcs that they were based on. All right. Oh, and they added in a female, tiny little twig. It's like, where's the girth?
To be fair, remember this is Blizzard.
I know. I can still call them out because they're the ones.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying. Look. I'm just saying you do understand where they were at the time, right?
Yeah, it's where they're still at.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So yeah, that set back my HSA, Wealth Savings Account, a bit. I was thrilled about that.
Wasn't it just the best?
it boggles the mind to like why that was okay to do to somebody. Oh.
Because it's not.
So yeah, that was that. My day, I ended up needing to go to IU's data center in Bloomington today, and but my dad told me, quite worryingly, "Hey, the brakes on your car aren't that good. I have some ordered, but don't go anywhere besides work." And I was like, "I have this trip on Thursday," and he's like, "Rent a car." I was like, "I've never rented a car. Let's try it."
It's dumb.
It's dumb.
Oh, fun thing if you're renting a car and you're going through your insurance. If you have something that's new, you're going to get cock-blocked getting your car that you're supposed to have from your insurance company because they're going to be like, well, I need your address. I need to confirm your address. So you give them your address, and it's like, well, your address doesn't line up. So that means I need 2 different pieces of identification from you, like mail or bank statements or all that. And it's like, I was literally told to buy insurance to come here and get this. And she's like, well, and the other person came by and it's like, what's going on? The address isn't matching up. You're here on insurance, right? Yeah. That's not a thing you do on insurance runs. Like, stop that.
Oh, the other guy? It's like, stop. What are you doing? Yeah, so I was like, okay, let's try this out. Because who did you go through? AVS, Enterprise, Hertz, what?
Enterprise.
Okay, I was also Enterprise. I went to the one downtown.
What the fuck?
What?
My 5e rules. I thought it was wrong because I have a dark elf party member on my Sunday campaign. He's not a drow. We're in Mystara. He's not a drow. It's different.
Okay.
But he has the dark vision, and he's got 120-foot dark vision, and this fucking game's over here saying 80-foot. And it's like, that's wrong. Just like over here with elf, it's like, oh, they have 40-foot. And it's like, I'm pretty sure that's also wrong. What does it say for gnome? Because that doesn't even give gnome anything. I have a 60-foot.
I'm not gonna. Far be it from me to be the one to say that's not right.
Now, I will say, seeing the move speed reminding me about this thing real quick. He decided to give us randomly generated magic items in one of our loot hordes, and I got the best armor, in my opinion, purely on name. I got the Swift Scale Armor of Swiftness.
Ooh.
It is a scale armor that was randomly generated to have an effect, the swiftness part, to give you a plus 15 to your move speed. But then it also had the special material quality of Swift, which gave an additional 10 foot of movement speed. So it's the random generator sandwiched it together and made the Swift Scale Armor of Swiftness. And I heard that, I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, it's a stupid generator. I'm like, no. It's called the what now? The Swift Scale Armor of Swiftness. It's like, God, that is less protection than what I have. Like, oh. And we're like, and it gives extra 35 feet to movement, and then it's like, yeah, it's fine. Oh. Fuck it, I'm taking it. I'm putting that on right now. I'm putting away this armor that we went through all this trouble to get. I'm putting this on. I'm gonna wear the fucking Swift Scale Armor of Swiftness. Back to your thing.
So yeah, went to Enterprise. I went to the one downtown. Set a reservation up with them, for late yesterday to like 4 or 5-ish today, about 24 hours. And I was like, just going through the motions, just picking stuff. Was like, I guess I'll get an SUV, do all that, and it comes out to like $120. I was like, that's a bit much for a 24-hour thing. Wait a minute, I'm a state employee. Let's see if there's a discount. There is.
Yep.
So, took advantage of that, and when I get there on Wednesday, checking in was no problem whatsoever, but the 2 cars they had in the category I chose was like a Chrysler Pacifista van and then a Chevy Tahoe, and I was like, neither of those what I want, or at all what I said. So
you need to have the big vehicle.
that's what I thought, but the more I looked at the Tahoe, I was more like, I'm not going to be able to see what's directly in front of me, so I'll choose the van. Yeah, anything gets even within, like, close to this vehicle, I'm not going to see them. So I was like, I guess I'll take the van. You know what? Chevrolet Pacifista. That's a very comfortable van. Can't do maps, though. Not sure what's up with that. All that stuff in the infotainment section, and they can't do a fucking map.
Yeah, it's probably updates and software shit. It's a rental car.
Probably, yeah. Which I wasn't going to fucking update it. I was only there for 24 hours. So, but yeah, it was real. The van itself was comfortable as hell. They did say it was a bit of a luxury van, so I'm like, all right.
Yeah, rental places don't always just get the cheap bottom line car.
Which I appreciate. Yeah. But since I know...
In fact, usually a lot of times why they get those ones that have those features on there is when those lots have those models and they keep trying to move them and then they don't move, they end up offloading them to a car auction, and that's basically where rental places get all of their cars.
Okay. That makes sense.
So that's why if you're looking for a closer to newer car, it can be worth it to go look at a rental place, because I cycle them out after about, I think it's somewhere like 60,000.
60,000
miles is about where they want to cycle out the car. And if you are fine getting a car and then either dealing with some of the bullshit damage of the car from people renting it and obviously not giving a shit, or are fine fixing that, you could potentially catch some decent deals out of there, because it's like they bought it at an auction for a way reduced rate, more than likely, than what it was sold for, got all that money renting the fucker out, and then now they're getting rid of it, so it's just literally more money coming to them. So it's not that worried about the price. I mean, they're still going to rake you over the coals, but they're not that worried for the price. Because this is America, and they are a business. Which is, I must have all of the money that ever existed in all of the land forever.
Guess I go Dragon Woodline. Oh, that changed my look up a little bit. Have to fix that, but that's cool.
So are you being a Dragonborn warlock?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Sorcerer.
what you're doing?
Sorry.
Sorcerer.
I have to change his look now, because the changing the Draconic bloodline got fucked up. So now I have to look at that again. Acolyte, Sanctum Vision, Urchin, Outlander.
Does it have decent support for being not the regular type of morality people are?
Like Goody Two Shoes? Yeah.
The other way.
The for being the big bad, as far as I'm concerned, yes, as well.
It's like, I could run that character I played that one time that I know you hate.
That's presumptuous.
Leland, I know you hate her. The drow that was completely okay with how drow do things, and it has like tons of spider everything all the time.
Oh,
And it has a giant spider that rides around on her back.
that's right.
I know you hated that character.
I still do. It was safely removed
We
from
only
my
played
memory.
2 sessions of it. You didn't have to deal with it very much.
Yeah, but very kindly forgot that such an abomination existed. So I was like, good. But you bring it up was just like, oh yeah, we did have that thing happen.
Because you're playing a drow, and it's like, yeah, the whole Drizzt thing everybody copies and does.
Drizzt!
I'm just going to do, like, the opposite of that. Fucking gonna play the drow that has magic power, and she will flat out just tell people, thank cloth that I got born as the correct gender.
Okay.
Because they're, like, militantly matriarchal with all that, especially when it comes to having magic. So rather than you have Drizzt that leaves and is like, I'm just gonna figure out how to be like the good guy, even though I have all of the drow. This is a drow that's coming up and be like, this is drow society, and I think it's pretty good. How do I convince everybody else that they should also abide by that? And one of those steps is, I'll be a cleric, and don't worry, I'll have healing magic and resurrection magic. My resurrections just come with a deal, though. I'll res you, but in your trying time, there is a contract you have to sign.
There is a contract.
For what? It's the contract that says that you're my property if I resurrect you. Like, I don't want to do that. Then you can be dead. I don't know if I want to do that, though. I don't know. I don't know what I'm...
Oh my god.
There's too many choices, Leland.
Yes,
It's
yes, there
5E.
are.
We, like, never play D&D anymore.
We don't. It's just Savage Worlds.
It's Savage Worlds, and lately it's been anime Savage Worlds. I also guess I don't know if I am in this energetic mood, because I just reached the point where after that post, it probably did dip down and get worse, and then I'm like, my brain's just like, we're just gonna snap, and there we go. So we're just in, hysteria. I guess is the closest thing. I'm gonna go with hysteria.
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 You're fine. You're fine. Why wouldn't you be fine?
Because this land we live in is cursed.
Oh, it's
It's
very
cursed
cursed.
and blighted lands.
It's very cursed. A lot of the times I'm like, why do we live here? And I'm like, oh, yeah, because we're not anywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, the issue is if I played that character, I'm just going more into the stereotype of when we do the role-playing games. I keep playing the feminine persuasion. And it's just like, should I just be fine with that?
My question to that is, why are you caring now?
I don't know, because it was just weird when I stopped and realized that one day, and it's like, huh.
Yeah, okay, you got to realization, but nothing... You didn't put anything up against you still doing that, though.
I know. But then it goes into the thing of, well, am I now playing too much of an archetype of character? Because I try to have some kind of diversity in there.
I'll put it this way: you like what you like.
I do at least know partial of the reason why I started doing that, because the game just kept never giving me any character of that. That was, in my
That's
thoughts,
good.
what they should be. So it's like,
I
well,
really like
fine. You fuckers won't do it, so I guess I will.
Let's see what we do. I like this one. Just-
Let's hope the locals are friendly.
Hells. Something just woke up down here.
So yeah, I might be renting a car every time I need to go out of town for work.
I've heard state employees that even own cars that say they still do that.
Yeah, it's just a good idea now. That and we get reimbursed for the quote unquote mileage. So I'm just like, I'll just get something cheap enough that the reimbursement just covers that.
Yo. I mean, because what? You can probably get a subcompact for like, what, $15 a day or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. But I'm not too interested in this case, profit. So getting like just a decent car is more than enough.
Yeah.
I only got the SUV because my concern was I wanted something that fit me, and a lot of cars don't. So, but when the two options were big SUV or van, I'm like, neither of the things I said I wanted, but I'm like, you know what? Let's go with van. But I think I can just settle for a car and be like, I'll live. As long as it's not like Marcus's car.
Oh, my random question for random reason at you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm asking you because you're the closest I have to an SME on this topic. So I'm putting you on the spot there.
Okay.
Because I do know
Flattering,
one other person I could ask, but I'm never talking to that person ever. So, the reason it got prompted is I don't really know what started it, but while I was at Terre Haute, I started writing just a story. I don't know what prompted it, but I was like, that's one of the things that I've had of like not getting bed till 3 because it's actually been enjoyable to do it. Again, it's not something I have to do and expect I'm going to get a profit off of it. Wild. Now, granted, I'm stuck at the thing because I know it got started in my brain thinking about because we have these 10 quintillion isekai things that are all over the place, everywhere. I like to say one of the starts is John Carter of Mars. That's a fucking isekai. Fight me, bro.
Damn.
But I was doing it because I'm sitting there and be like, well, what would be one that I'd want to see? And I know one of my big complaints is that it's always generic Renaissance fantasy. I have to stop calling it medieval fantasy because all of the trappings of it are definitely a lot more Renaissance era than they are medieval era.
Oh yeah.
Which, I get it. You can be more creative with your fashion stuff and you can make the things look a little bit more modern, which the creator is more used to and makes sense. I get it. Plus, they're not even in the European culture, so I get it. It's foreign. We butcher their culture all the time. I basically expect the same to happen in return. But doing it, when you have like we'll say like the cat girl. That's the one everybody knows. So the people that have the couple animal bits on them. Is that a class of furry? I told you, this is going to be a fucking random question for a fucking random reason.
The intentional inclusion of animal genitalia?
I'm not that worried about the genitalia part.
Okay.
Like Mara in the campaign we played.
Okay.
So like that. That is character. Is that considered to be in the fur realm?
For as broad as the term is, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like a distinction of like that's as far as you go before you get into the fur realm, or if that was like that's the intro.
The intro. So, I had to look this up many times to figure out like if I was or not to.
And I do understand this is horrendously subjective.
God.
Oh no, it's on you now. I just wanted to throw that in before you started your response.
Oh, okay, yeah, yes, it absolutely is subjective. But in my looking this up to see if I actually was one or not, the term ended up being so broad that it could be you're into, say, or not into, but you're a big fan of animal characters or animal anthropomorphic characters, like in just media or literature or whatever. That is a definition. Well, that's one side of the definition, but the other side is you're actually into I want to say the suggestive or eroticism, I don't know how you say that, of anthropomorphic characters, but that's the other side. Now, I think the argument is, which side of it are you on? A lot of people are both. But a lot of people are just on the, like, safe for work side, too, and they are furries. It's just, a lot of the time they overlap. And, like, you can't have one side without the other, because a lot of the time, it's a lot of, I like all of my favorite movies are like Zootopia, Lion King, like, it's like people playing animals.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's like, but when you get called out on when you get confronted about the other side of it, it's just like, yes, that is a side of it. A lot would agree that it's a large side of it, but that is a side of it, but that's not all of it.
Right.
Because even the ones on the not safe for work side, that's still coming from a place of they like the safe for work stuff too.
I think I feel like that is firmly in a category that applies to a lot of things where when you're deep into it you still have appreciation of that earlier stuff.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately the gamers TM aren't. Filthy casuals playing those games like a casual. Ugh.
Yeah, so you could clearly see the not similarities, but the parallels that the term gamer is in terms of like how broad that is. You're casual, you're hardcore, or you're a pro, or it's all over the fucking place. But they all go under the dang gamer, and so it's just like, okay, which one? What do you like to do? Lately, I found that I personally don't like games that, what I think the term is sweat, games that just make you like tense and really into it, and like has to constantly think and like have to be perfect on all your hits and shots and whatever. I'm just like, that's fine every now and then, but that's not the reason why I want to play games. Most of the games I want to play are like this, so I'm taking my time, enjoying a rich story.
Yep.
Not everyone's cup of tea, but I get it.
I honestly think that's part of the reason why I still have War Thunder as a multiplayer shooter game, because I've kind of drop and listed for a while, at least for a while right now, because it's just like, it got frustrating because it was starting to feel more Call of Duty like. I mean, when the whole team's just everybody just sprinting around, hip firing an MG34 with pinpoint accuracy from 100 yards away, I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
I got the feeling that was kind of was going on. It's not like you can make a game as I want to use the term basic or authentic as possible, but people are going to find a way to do their own thing regardless.
Now, I want to be clear, because I feel like when you start getting to like the people that play things like Postscriptum and Arma, those styles of the games, you aren't going to be seeing that kind of stuff as often, even if you could do it in the game. But it'll still happen, and I will acknowledge that in real life, it very likely has happened. If people are in combat, weird shit's gonna happen, because it's like, either I do the weird shit and maybe not die, or I don't do the weird shit and definitely die. So, we're doing the weird shit. And that's how you have people that were hip-firing some of those, like, medium machine guns that were supposed to be mounted, and they burned their hands because, fuck it, I need to shoot now. And if I have a burned hand but I'm alive, I can deal with a burned hand. But if I'm dead, kind of dead. And then, of course, I'm sure somebody will put in the thing of like, that's not very high risk.
Yeah, like, that's kind of... Well, I dropped Call of Duty for a multitude of reasons. But one of the things that I found that I don't really like Call of Duty turning into a lot for its multiplayer was... Like, I found that I don't really like arena shooters that much.
I don't like the flow of them.
Yeah, I think the only thing I like is the urgency, but I don't like the skill gap that quickly mounts on you. Because this was, what was this, like 5-6 years ago? I was playing probably a Black Ops game. And a lot of the time, I'm playing just for the sake of playing, because to try it, to see like where we're at. It's probably like Black Ops 3 or 2.
And sometimes you just want that scratch itch of like, I just want to run around shooty bang bang. Like,
yeah, but when when I see people in the same lobby as me running around, not necessarily in good gear, sometimes basic gear, just running around and like knowing the map as well as the back of their hand. It's like, yep, there's a guy there, got you. I'm like, I just see the kill feed, and I'm just like, oh, God. Like, one of the reasons it just feels so, not humiliating, that's not the word. It feels so discouraging to, like, continue. Because I think the first time I realized I was like not into multiplayer much was in like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, 2009, where I got 360 no scope for the first time. I was like, well, that's it. I'm done with this.
See,
The guy,
I don't think I ever got 360 no scoped in any game I've played. No, I can't recall a time, and I feel I would recall that happening.
I clearly do.
I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Real quick, did the backgrounds only give their skills, or do they have their other writers?
Other writers.
Like how Outlanders can forge food and entertainers could pay for inn stays without actually having to pay.
Oh, that. You're not locked into them, no. Is what I can tell you there.
But they don't have their other writers, they're just giving the skills.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, a cleric. Okay.
Well, that was the whole reason the character was a cleric, is because it was supposed to be like the stereotypical Loth character where you think it'd be like all oppressive. But it is bring pretty healthy amount of heal stuff and get people back up. It's just, I mean, a lot of time if we're in the middle of a fight and like people are beating the shit up, it's like it benefits me to just heal you. There you go, enjoy. But to have the other times of like, oh, I ate this poisoned food and I need this fixed, and it's like, well, have I got a deal for you? And then when people are like, you can't keep doing this, it's completely immoral. It's like, whatever do you mean?
I love that look. That is perfect.
And not even with the approach of like, well, you just want to be evil. I always wanted to take the approach of legitimately, no, seriously, what is wrong with what I'm doing?
Some would say
It's
I'm
completely
saving
immoral.
you.
It's like, what do you mean? Define this. What do you mean? You're using words. I don't know the definitions. I have a feeling the game's not going to quite let me run it because it's too odd of a thing. But that's fine. We can deal with it. Wait, did the... I thought you gave... Oh! Okay. Okay. Never mind. I see what's happening.
You're an urchin. Okay, cool. Oh, you haven't chosen yet. About to say.
No. I was looking at what the abilities were, and then I saw this on the right with the assigned bonuses, and then I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what Drow are, and I flipped over and see him there, and it's like, oh, because they're taking the new rule where you could just assign it.
Yeah. What else happened this week? Yeah, there's a lull. Work's been kind of boring. But it's okay. Work is just work at this point. I know for sure there are days when, oh, look at all these projects you have to do and blah blah blah, and then other times like now where it's just like you literally have nothing to do but monitor servers. I'm like, okay. I think we just watched the second to last episode of season 4 for Voyager.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting through it. We did watch the episode yesterday, where they told the whole story, but it was 700 years in the future.
Yes.
Where Voyager had an effect on this planet once.
This plot thread will return.
Oh no, will it? Because Marcus did point out.
So you
that
remember the rant I told you about with Janeway always wanting to go back and trying to get her, air quotes, perfect ending?
Yeah.
That's Janeway's canon. The future time police don't like that.
Yeah, Marcus did point out that they didn't talk about that episode much. The next episode, I was just like, it's a show, dude. They're not all gonna be bangers. The show's so bad about continuity sometimes, but most TV shows are. But not everything needs to come up all the time, so. The episode we just watched, though, was the crew had to go into stasis because of a highly irradiated nebula. And so it was just the Doctor and 7 of 9. And it's just like, writing wise, I find it interesting because it's just like, well, 7 of 9 always wants to be quote unquote alone when doing her work and stuff, but that's the curse of it when she's working. And most of the time, she's never, and as far as we're concerned, she's never not working. So
I have to say with that episode concept, I kind of remember it. The problem is Voyager is one that definitely just kind of blurs together on what happened in an episode for me.
fair.
Because we've only
I'm sorry to
watched
get it
through
down.
Voyager once, and that was it. Like, the other ones, we've had times where we've gone back and watched episodes, and I'm not much of a rewatcher of things to begin with.
Same.
But knowing when something happened in Voyager is hard to remember, and there's only some things I remember. But I kind of remember this episode you're talking about.
Mhm.
I had to say that there's an episode Enterprise did it, and people are probably going to disagree with this. I feel Enterprise did it better. I mean, first off, you get a quick scene of, yes, they had to put the dog into his little sleep, and you get to see him in his little bed, all
Enterprise
cuddled
series?
up and all adorable, and it's a beagle, and I've always lived with beagles my whole life, so it was just fucking adorable, and the best Portos' best boy.
Enterprise the series?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Captain Archer has a beagle,
Okay.
so the Enterprise just has a beagle.
Marcus does not want to watch Enterprise again, and I have not seen it.
The one complaint I have with Portos, the beagle, he's extremely unbeagle-like. I understand we don't see the beagle that much. We really don't. He's much more of this is a character detail than he is a main character of the show. We could argue about whether that should be different or not, but we won't. Portos is very unbeagle-like because whenever you see that dog, there's a lot of times the dog is sitting there, hanging out, being a dog, and I'm like, dude, literally something different has entered this room, and you have not sat there and sniffed it for 4 hours. That's very unbeagle-like. Then, whenever there's a scene where they're eating food, you don't have a beagle trying to gorge itself. That's very unbeagle-like. And then, the dog doesn't bark that much, which...
That's a lie.
Awesome. I actually lived with a dog that didn't bark a lot. Now, specifically a beagle that didn't bark a lot, so that got a little bit tossed up. But the barking of the beagle is not a piercing echoing through the whole ship where everybody can hear it. There is a reason beagle sounds suspiciously close to bugle. Because a beagle is a hunting dog, and a hunting dog that was bred for the idea of it would be able to sniff well. That's why beagles love snoofing. And when they would find things, they would bark, and they just have kind of the horde howls as a bark. If you are annoyed by a dog's barking, do not get a beagle. Their barks are just naturally very acoustically wide. Because they're supposed to be able to find the thing that you shot and ran off for 10 minutes, and you don't know where it is in the woods, and you just hear the beagle call.
I was worried about beagles. I love how cute they are, but I was worried about the bark, and I was like, damn. Not that I find the barks particularly annoying, but it's just like, I don't want to bother other
If you're
people
fine with a
that
dog bark, it's not ear piercing, it's just they project. You will know the dog's barking. It's kind of hard to say, because it's like they bark, and I personally don't think a beagle is really any louder than any other dog, but their bark projects.
I guess that's a good way to say it.
If Dad takes the dog for a walk and is on the other side of the neighborhood and the dog has decided to bark at something, I can hear that Dad is on the other side of the neighborhood passing by that old person's house because of the dog barking. They're also very lovable, and if you decide that you will indulge their stomach, because they are a nose that is attached to a stomach that is carrying a dog, they will absolutely adore you.
That's one way to say it. Jesus.
I mean, the beagles found a method of employment that is the perfect thing for a beagle. They became the airport contraband searching dogs. They spend all day doing one of their most favoriteest things, which is sniff, and they're usually employed as the ones to find smuggled food. So they spend all day smelling for food, find food, and then are given food because Pod is in reinforcement with treats. And beagles are like, this is fucking great. I'm sure people are gonna be like, oh, optimization. Fuck off.
Like I care about min-maxing.
We're picking spells, Leland. We're getting there.
It's literally the last thing on your checklist on the left.
Yeah. The left list.
I know. There's the part on the right that still needs to go through.
But part of the reason I was asking about the house is because I'm looking at more. What I'm ideally trying for is more of an October date.
October this year or next year?
This year.
Oh.
I was going to say, if you were trying to do that, then I would take that into consideration for what would be a budget of something, and then float the idea that to help with down payments of things where you need the front cash, is that you could have contributed to it. And I would say that we should, do the everything prim and proper for a rent agreement, probably, just to financially cover both of our butts, because we don't need the IRS coming in being like, you fucked it, burn everything down.
If I remember correctly, I think houses are still a mess to.
But I would
Sure.
have been 1,000% willing to be like, you throw some money in a down payment, whatever the agreed rent is, we just count that as those initial periods of rent. Because again, I'm not a bank and don't sit there and be like, how much money do you personally have in your name, Leland? How do I transfer all that to me?
How much? Hey, everything you own right now, I need that.
Because it's touch and reach.
I'm writing. I'm gonna have to have Marcus drive tomorrow so I can ask him about the housing situation. I doubt he has any updates, but he talks to James and Brian much longer than I do. So hopefully.
Bear in mind if you're going to ask about anything and you're considering the option of over here, like I said, kind of being ghosted by mortgage people, so I don't know how it's all lining up. And then with the fact that a car has to be thrown in there, it's just like.
Sorry, I thought you were looking for another car too. Jesus.
Yeah. Which I need to actually sit down and do that, but trying to just disassociate from existence has kind of been taking hold of writing. Like sitting there and typing up that story. Which, by the way, I'll feel like running the premise by, and also if I end up actually getting far with it, and you're totally willing, I wouldn't mind somebody looking at it and seeing if it even makes sense or is even readable.
I have published one written story, and man, is it poorly written.
Oh, I'm sure this thing is not written that well, but the thing that the reason why I'm also trying it and would be willing for anybody to even look at it after I figure it out is because I know every time I was going through school, I was really good at spotting a lot of grammar and spelling at people. Now, the one thing that I know teachers said they didn't like is, especially writing all those school papers, is I had, as one in college said, I had very much of a blog style of writing. Basically, the big rant tangents I go on when we're doing this. I've had that just in text as college papers.
I guess that does make sense, huh?
And they were making it sound like they kind of don't like that, and it's but there's a lot of stuff that I've read that's like that, and not blogs, like print books.
Yeah, I've listened to books like that.
But because I've always been able to spot grammar, I'm like, well, I can at least fix the grammar part of it. But, and this is kind of the interesting thing, because it all started in well, I'll just make an isekai world that no one else is going to make, just be one that be in a setting I'd want to see. But then after I did the whole, I called it a preamble, I don't know if it's actually a preamble. After I did the initial preamble, rough draft of the whole change the world thing, I then immediately got in and started typing that, and it's but what I'm doing doesn't require this. So should I even do that part, or should I just carry on with the fucking thing? But the main setting conceit and what the main character's supposed to be doing is it's your good old, the anime thing. The whole reason I asked about those animal bits on people was because I was going to have that be in there, but the problem is the people without the human bits, so the humans, the objectively worst thing that has ever been created in the universe, looks at them and be like, but you're not actually people. And then the main character is going to be like, well, hang the fuck on. They operate just like a people, so why the fuck ain't they a people? and is just basically going to crusading to try and change that, but in a setting of the World Wars periods.
Oh, I see. That is an interesting setup. Premise.
So
that's what I meant to
it,
say.
like right now, an idea I have it go on is that they'll be trying to push the country that they're living in into civil war, but then there's also a world war breaking out, and that's happening. So everything will just be booked. And then I don't want to shy away from it and just make it all well, it's just the cinematic war combat. It's like, bro, I was a child and watched Saving Private Ryan and Band of Brothers. If I'm doing a World War setting, it's going to be tactically and combatively at least somewhat accurate. It's going to be, we're going to flip over to a battle scene. This is fucking awful. Why would anybody be doing this? Because that's what the World Wars looked like. That's why people didn't want them to happen anymore. That's why people thought in the first one, well, clearly no one's going to wage war ever again because this was fucking awful. And then they looked over there and then, World War II, the revenge of the World War I started happening. And it's like, what do you mean when we absolutely cripple an entire nation that they're upset about that?
Yeah, it always got me that learning history. I was like, wait, why was the First World War the Great War? And you look into it, it's like the war to end all wars. I'm like, what? Are you sure?
Well, the first thing is the scope and scale of the people participating in it and where combat was happening. The planet had never seen anything on that scale before. And we had all the technological advancement because you had all these countries sitting around that were constantly arms racing at each other because as much as there's a lot of people that want to say we just shouldn't have a military budget, that's the best way for people to immediately war and oppress you.
Mm-hmm.
It's an unfortunate reality we have to deal with. Perhaps one day we can get to the Star Trek land where, okay, now we don't have to deal with it, but then if you pay attention to Star Trek land, we ran into other people, and now it's like, well, fuck, we still have to do that.
It is constantly just a like Star Trek probably puts it a good example of it. It's just like, yes, most of the time we don't want to fight, but there are times when people just don't want to deal with us either.
Because the thing to bear in mind on why, even if you want complete total peace, you don't want anybody fighting anymore. Like I said, until there are radical changes in just the sheer way people are even process how reality works, you would still want a military to be present because, as you've probably experienced acting in the real world, it is impossible for any decision to be made where somebody else won't dislike that. And if you sit there and the person goes, I don't like that decision you made, and they decide, I will opt for violence, and if you're sitting there and it's like, no, I'm going to have absolutely no violence, we're not going to do anything, the person who opts for violence does not care about the political statement that you're making. They have opted for violence, they're going to carry through the violence. This is not a thing to say that peaceful protesting doesn't work, it does. But the people peaceful protesting have to understand that that doesn't mean that they have to respond to you peacefully. Which are famous peaceful protests that happen, like, say, the British Raj becoming India. They were aware of that. That's partly the way that one was able to work. There was also a lot of other things that people don't like to talk about. They just like to say, and India was a British colony, and then Gandhi, and then now it's India. There's a lot of shit rolling around there when that was happening.
Yeah.
And you can And you can thank Churchill for every time during that entire war anything came up with India. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. India is Britain. India is not allowed independence. Indians are dumb. And basically, to effect, says exactly those words every time India comes up. Like, I'm not just like exaggerating. I'm only paraphrasing. Despite the fact that all the local British commanders are there, like, India can just be its own thing. Like, they would. This would actually legitimately fix a lot of problems we deal with having India if we just say, India, you can be your own thing. And then if we really still want to be there, we can just negotiate we're still there, but they get to be their own thing. That solves so many problems for us, especially with the fact that we're now in a big old war again. No, absolutely not. India is Britain, they are British, and Indians are dumb. And even the local commanders are sitting there like, oh my fucking god, just let India be fucking its own fucking thing. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Two. That's one that does good damage. These boys. We'll take both of them. Okay. I was actually sitting here thinking about the spells I was going to take before you're just like, I was just ranting about shit. There was thought in there. Larry, you fucked up. There's hair clipping through the elf ears. Oh my god. Oh, bad game. 0 out of 10.
I am starting to pick up on your humor now.
Let's hope the locals are friendly.
Well, when people are stupid, I'm going to call out they're being stupid.
It's opened.
More.
There's magic keeping his chests.
Where to next?
What was...
Let's hope the locals are friendly.
Hells. Something just woke up.
Be wary. This place is trapped.
It's opened.
No!
More
No, what?
things.
There's no absolutely bombastic preaching voice.
No, there isn't.
There's magic.
Where to
The
next?
example I still remember, I think it was out of Neverwinter's Night, was just, I remember it was because it was one of the samples for the voice in there, is you just click it and it's just, attack! Attack! That's the whole voice set, is that kind of shit. And it's like, yeah, I want to be like the big burly paladin with that fucking voice. Or a barbarian. Ooh, a barbarian raging with that. Ooh, I didn't think about that one. Oh, that would have been fun. But no, we get these boring, like, normal, like, people that are actually about their senses voices.
Health. Be wary. This place is trapped.
That's better.
More of there's magic keeping this chest sealed. I can feel its aura.
What was that?
I think 6 is the closest.
Something just...
That's what you're looking for.
It's opened. Remember what's more of those wretched things.
Like the voice I had when we were playing Dark Tide, like that kind of shit.
Ah,
There's
yeah.
magic
Not like
keeping
those
this
kind of
chest
ones.
sealed.
That was just a more gruff and violent
feel
version
its
of it,
aura.
because 40k. God, if only that game could actually, like, do something.
Yeah, so
Just like
that
it's
stuff.
sitting there, you just like poke it with a stick, and it's like, do a thing. Advance. Take your cash shop out.
What was that?
oh, I just realized you can do the absolutely unthinkable, unimaginable that you can't ever do because it'd be terrible. You could have a black elf. Oh my god. Explode.
I honestly didn't know that was a thing.
So, the issue I had with the whole Black Elves thing is, I mean, I know a lot of the internet's gonna hate me for doing this, but when I hear people getting upset about these things, I usually do try to sit there and be like, is there an actual reasonable reason to be upset about it? Now, my statement on this is, say you have, when like some fantasy settings make a snow elf, if you would have had a person with darker skin tone and they say they're a snow elf, usually the way those fantasy settings describe a snow elf, I'd be like, that's pretty bullshit. Because it's usually they have a thing, like the Drow in D&D, how they're always like this blue, purple... It used to be exclusively black, and they just, you know, gave them a little bit more of a color gambit. But it's still kind of these darker tones, and it's all that. So if you're just like, here's pale white drow, it's like, that's weird. But as far as I can tell with Tolkien elves, the few times that I think there's actually a lot of time he didn't describe what skin tone an elf had, it was usually only like main characters that had like some kind of significance got that kind of detail.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, it wasn't that much because it was just kind of whatever. He never made any statement of elves are only this. So because he never said they couldn't be, I don't understand being upset when you get that. If it was, in this setting, this is a feature of these people where they all have this one thing, and then you do it, and then it's not a... they are different, then I could be like, okay, that's weird, because it feels like you're looking at the source material and you're saying like, go the fuck away, source material. Now you want to be like, the person's different, and then you just want to go with the thing of, well, they're different, but everybody accepts them and they're all fine with that. That's completely fine. He doesn't have, your character does not have to be all ostracized just because they're different. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, I know he'll ostracize people for being different.
So,
Fuck, just walk up to Jesus and be like, I'm not convinced you're God. And be like, my dad, which is also me, is gonna put you in hell place. We have absolutely nobody that would ever watch us with me religious. I make sure of that.
you do keep them away pretty well. I do think here's my thinking on it. I think Tolkien was like, let's put Tolkien in the best of light right now. Say he never just described it this way, but when people picked up on it, of course people thought, oh well, they're clearly all, just because they're all this grace and elegance and power. It's just like, of course that's what they would look like, right? And it's just like, I understand your thinking, but there's no argument for not that either.
Yeah. Like, if you were to tell me, well, Tolkien didn't mention all the skin tone because when you write somebody they were just Caucasian colored, it's be like, even if he has absolutely zero issue with people of a different skin tone, I legitimately don't know whether he does or doesn't.
I can't remember either. So
if you just want to be like, well, somebody just thinks something in their head and they just assume that, I can understand that. He lived in Western Europe. There's a lot of honkies there, especially in the time period he was. So it's just like, yeah, that's just default because it's everything that's around you. It's just like a lot of, I know, like, with the growing thing of we're finally acknowledging all these people that have all of these, not what we were calling the normal baseline of what human is in so many respects. and everybody's like, everything comes out has to be able to represent it, and it's like, well, I understand why when somebody just thinks of something, they don't do it, because if they're not around the person that has that feature, I'm trying to be as broad to try and catch all of it. And I understand why they don't think of it when they think up their thing, but that doesn't also mean that they don't like it. I don't even know if I made sense there. I felt like I lost track of what my words were trying to say.
But yeah,
Yeah, as like I said, as far as I'm aware, I don't recall anything saying all elves are this color. I don't recall there ever being a statement of that, and I don't recall there ever being a statement that would exclude the possibility of a different skin tone of elf to exist. So people being butthurt over it were just fucking stupid. Now, I will say, seeing some scenes out of the show when they had one of those characters in question, it can be like, okay, I can see not liking what they're doing with the character because, quite frankly, this scene I'm watching is not written very well, and like you could have done so much better to make this guy a badass rather than I'll just show scenes of him being mildly competent, but everyone will be like, it's so amazing, oh my god. And it's like, it's a fantasy and you're the writer. Let him do something fucking epic, and then people be like, oh my god.
I do remember that when I first got into Dungeons and Dragons and everything, I was just like, my assumption absolutely was just like, huh, all those were like, okay, I don't know if that makes sense, but okay. But elves were never really that interesting of a race to me, quote unquote. So I was like, longevity and magic prowess usually are the two go-to, and I was like, what else you got? But it was honestly just like, oh, okay. Deep down, I guess it was like, I don't relate to these type of people at all, so I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah, I get that. Kind of like the reason that usually why I am not always playing the high magic characters is just because, like I said, being a child and growing up watching Band of Brothers, Saving Private Ryan and all that, I always grew up that I always found it more endearing when it was you had the regular person that anybody could have been getting to these feats, and then so many times in your settings when you have the manager say, you were born and you the special, and now you better because you're the special. And it's like, that's stupid because I know I'm not the special. Like, everybody's special. It's like you say it to everybody. Like, I know I'm not the special. But then when I see the thing of here's this regular individual. What's remarkable about them? Fucking nothing. And then they get into a thing and it's like, and then did this super just crazy, absolute, ridiculous stunt of madness. And it's like, oh, I could do that too because I'm a regular thing. Oh my god, I could do that. As opposed to, here's the special and that's better because they're the special. And it's just like, okay, I can't do that because I'm not the special. I'm supposed to be compelled? And then later I've started to be turned off by some extreme high fantasy magic because then it's like you're literally taking things that can actually be dramatic issues and just going, no. Like, you realize how we've never played a campaign where we've actually had to worry about the fact that the characters were harmed? And I made a complaint about that and then got told that it's my fault that my character doesn't interact with everything.
Wait,
Because Mara, the last character I played, I made a comment about how I kind of wish I didn't try to do the whole herbalism thing because it's just weak and not good. And then I basically got told it's like, you're just not being creative enough with it. And it's like, I have the thing of the character gets injured, and when we do our downtime, I take our downtime from 2 weeks to 3 days. But then at the end of every fight, it's always chuck a die, chuck a die, chuck a die, chuck a die. I healed 50 wounds. Everybody's back to full. It's like, all the stuff I have, just no point.
You're just not creative enough. Who said that?
And it's not to say that I have a beef with the people doing that healing thing. I don't. It's the core underlying concept of magic just make all problems go away. That's the thing I have a beef with. That's why usually whenever I'm doing the magic settings, I like the ones where it's either a rooted magic that the normies can do something about, or the magic causes, like the 40k style, and why one of the reasons that I like the things that do the psychic in there is like, yes, you get really great powers that can just make shit go away. You could also just explode at any moment because a demon comes bursting out of your skull. And it's like, cool, you have great power, but at great cost. There's a balancing factor to it. Or you have the thing of like, I could just make the problem of us having to deal with wounds going away, but by me doing that, I will be significantly hindered in other ways. So now I have to deal with the overcoming of that obstacle, as opposed to just, this cost me nothing. The problem's fixed. That inconvenienced me none.
I guess that's one way to put it. There are a lot of factors that go into our sessions, so it's a lot of the time, small stuff like that just gets straight up ignored. And that's not any one person's fault. That's just how.
That's what that's called.
Yeah. That just happens because we're doing this late on a Friday night. It's just so a lot of small shit just gets skipped and ignored. So, and it goes into a lot of character building a lot, where it's just like, well, I'm realistic in terms of what I'm using. I'm just like, am I ever going to need this? No. We rarely get poisoned. Resistances rarely come into play because people just take the fucking hit. Savage Worlds. So I'm just like, I'll just do something that can take a hit and also do hits. And that's usually what my characters always end up being. Nothing that special. It's just like,
well, I remember we ran into that disagreement between ourselves with that one. When we did that Mass Effect one, we both built Turian, and I'm like, dude, you didn't put in this very specific detail that is very clearly part of the biology of Turian. And you're like, I'll worry about that if we ever ran into radiation. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, Leland, I know you are 100% right, but god damn it, it's the biology.
It's like you told me that, I was like, you told me that after I said that, I was like, I wish I could think like you. I wish I could fund that way, but I know we will never ever do it. So I know, didn't put it in.
There, I'm like, you are completely reasonable in your assumption in doing that, and I absolutely understand where you're coming from, and it makes total sense. But I'm getting stuck and dying on the hill. Oh, fuck the biology, though.
Like, I think you're right too. If it's like, oh yeah, that does happen to. I remember that in the lore, but I know our group, so we're not. I know we're not going to do that. Yeah, especially since it was a Mass Effect campaign and Marcus wasn't running it, so Marcus definitely wasn't going to have that. Marcus is the only one who was going to have any chance of that coming up for our characters. So I was like, I'm not adding it.
I have a feeling if it was a full campaign, you very likely could have still run into it, but especially with it being a one-shot, it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, that's right. It was a one shot too. Oh man.
How would somebody tattoo a sword on their face like that? I don't have a problem with somebody tattooing a sword on their face, just why would they tattoo it like that?
Why is it facing down? Yeah, I guess I can see that, but I'm just like, why? So it also comes into play like how I play our RPGs together, because a lot of the times like my characters they don't do much outside of combat. Anything outside of combat, I'm not going to get much say in usually. So unless it's character specific, I'm not gonna really think about it much.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, because when it's outside of combat and the group's doing things, I know I'm not going to be the one that ends up speaking up or has much of an opinion. Because most of the time, whoever says something either has the same idea I have, which is 90% of the time, or 10% of the time, those two just end up talking the whole time, and no one else can really insert their opinion. And it's just like,
And then people are all like, geez, I wish other people would contribute. It's like, you won't shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
And then when you finally do, it's like, okay, you can go now. It's like, you said the thing I was going to say because you didn't God.
Yeah, it's usually 90% of the time, everyone has the same idea. But that 10% is just 2 to 3 people, just 1 or 2 people talking to the GM, and they're all who get to talk. So it's like,
Which I feel every group runs into that point of there are issues that you're on. It's like everybody's thinking the same thing. So I think everybody, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and think that everybody who's ever played a tabletop RPG could relate to that in some capacity at least.
Yeah, so unless like for instance in Brian's next campaign, which is a fucking 5-star thing, which I haven't given much thought yet either. I know what I'm thinking about, but I'm also like right now thinking, how much am I actually going to get to do what I want to do with this character? Like, I still want to have fun, but at the same time, how much fun am I actually going to get to have?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be like, well, if we get to it, I will do my best to try. If something is addressed to the group, I will try to give my opinion. If not first, just say something. Especially with the character I'm making for Brian's next one, because for some reason I wanted my next character to be Joker inspired. DC
Okay.
Joker inspired. So
I had a feeling that's where you're going.
Yeah. So a bit of chaos, manipulation, and just messing around more. So So I want to honestly see how this goes, and try to see if I can mess with people instead of being like, be morally ambiguous. Not instead of being uh, like a straight like I'm good because I have to be, or I'm evil because I want to be. I want to be gray this time around and see how that goes.
You mean more realistic?
Yeah.
Despite what other people have made opinions of? I know that's a popular thought that a lot of people have right now, but yeah, the world did not magically just become all black and white. Like the variants still exist. Like it's still there.
Yeah.
Not my fault that you're unaware of it.
From my more in-depth looks on history, the world's always been fucking gray. It's never been black and white. It's never been black or white. It is always gray.
Oh, they're saying "Down by the River." I was just kind of hearing the song until we had that, just complete pause break there, and I thought they were just saying "Dumb, dumb, dumb." And I'm like,
Oh.
what?
It's almost 10. But I knew this would happen.
Hang on a second.
You clicked. The game is no longer your main concern because you clicked off of it. So it's no longer the focus.
Stop doing that. You have plenty of resources you can run. Yeah, just one second. I'm like 99% confident I have the picture. It's either here or it's on the phone, and I'm pretty sure it's here. I ran into it doing this. God, I hate seeing a meme picture that I have that I think is fucking hilarious, but if I show it to the group, they're gonna be like, I don't understand this. It's like, need more aware Battletech.
It's okay, Tom. It only happens most of the time. I get most of your jokes, but there are times when it's just like, oh man, he's so niche.
But at the same time, it does bring me a little bit of joy when it's like, haha, fuck you, I have a meme. You don't know what the fuck it means. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
that's what I think you're doing most of the time.
You will see the specific reason why I have specifically saved this specific comic. You now see it.
No, well, pardon me for 1 second. How's the game you've been playing all day? Oh, okay, sorry, I read that wrong. It's fun, but I'm kind of stuck in this part. Which part? Create your character. The hardest part is always, who am I?
I mean, I remember you yelling at me with Elden Ring when it's like, I have a very specific picture that I'm going for to make of this character. And you're like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, it does to me, damn it! You're like, you don't even get to see your character's face in Souls game, but I'll know it's there. I know what's under that mask.
I remember us doing that now, and I also remember thinking afterwards, I was like, I should just let Tom do his thing. There's no reason for me to rush him, like, ever.
Well, that's the thing, you didn't. I just did it anyway.
But again, I was also just like, it's just like I really didn't spend much on the face because I knew I would never ever see it. But also saying that to you, I was like, I made a huge horrible mistake.
But see, you sat back and let me fight my own battle. Which because kind of the point I was making when I made that post was the thing of, like, I have an issue and I'm going to fight it, and you only help when I ask for the help, damn it. Don't go ahead and assume you're going to do a help, because that makes it worse. That's why I stressed, don't not do the thing you're doing. If I show up and I'm like, I really don't want a part of it, I will sit there and happily just hang out with everybody doing it. Please do the thing. If you go, well, we'll just try and do something different, because that's like, no, that makes it worse.
I do have to thank Baldur's Gate for being like so like not a life service, because part of me thought when this game came out it was going to be for how long it was cooking and all the stuff that was going to be added to it. I was like, they're going to add it, and I'm not going to be happy, even though I know it's reasonable. So I was just like, I hope it comes out without it, but it probably won't. And the fact that it did, that we can just play the game and not have to worry.
Spend $60, $60, not $70, and you just have an Vidya game,
Yeah.
and it's just there, just to be played.
Right.
Now, back in my day, that's how all the Vidya games were. You bought the game, and then you had the game, and then they came out with the new thing of like, we want to make new stuff, but we don't quite want to make a whole new game, so we did the thing of the expansion pack, which basically felt like a sequel, like a half sequel to a game, and it was like, cool. And then they decided, well, instead of doing the expansion pack, we could just give you 500 DLC to make that expansion pack, because that'll make us more money. And then somebody somewhere probably read some study about, like, oh yes, neurodivergency and how it can lead to financial issues. And they're like, neurodivergency, financials, I can take advantage of that. Give me your money.
Do you have any money? Give it to me.
Give it to me now. Put it right here. Right here. Right fucking here. Right in my palm.
Like, for this year in particular, like, it's been nice that less and less live service games have been, like, one, announced, two, at any modicum of light either. It's been so nice that they are less and less of a thing now, because people are like, well, we see what you want to turn them into, and every time you do it, you keep messing up the fundamental step of making a game. So instead of like actually trying to entice us with the game, you have to artificially pad the game.
Yeah.
Like for instance, what came out recently? What for this was recently came out was Diablo 4, and at first all I heard about it was what's up?
What's happening?
I have ran into this once in my playthrough. It does take a little while, but this does come up eventually. But you're not controlling this character, so do whatever you want. Is what I've been told.
What the fuck is it?
It's part of the story.
Is it a person I have to deal with?
Yes.
Okay. In what kind of capacity?
I've met them twice. I've only met them through dialogue / cutscene scenes, not actual like exploring the game.
Am I making my Pokemon rival?
I don't know that far yet, so I want to say no. Again, Guardian doesn't help either. You need a Guardian. Like, for what? Or from what?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You're letting me make it. Like,
Yeah.
I need deets.
Yeah. I wish it said more than you need a Guardian, because I was also like, I don't know what this means, but okay. Guess I'll make something. And I made something for my single player playthrough.
Now people are going to be like, oh, but the spoilers. And it's like, well, depending on what they are is going to affect what I want to be there for it, because visualize a character and a backstory for them. Meh. So stuff like I go like, well, it's somebody who's probably going to be an ally. Get in there. And it's like, hey, fucking asshole, I'm going to kick your shit out. Steal your lunch money. It's like, well, I would have made you a different character. Because now it feels weird in my brain space. And they're like, I'm going to make my fucking Pokemon rival. And then I'm going to put in the guy who's going to be the Pokemon rival. And then you get in there and it's like, I'm your best friend. And we're going to adventure around together. It's like, well, fuck. I would have made you something else, Butt Munch. And apologies for calling you Butt Munch. I thought you were going to be the rival, not the friend. God, if I don't know what it is, I kind of want it to be random completely, and I don't have any knowledge of it, and it just show up.
Yeah.
Because they won't tell me fucking anything about it.
What does that mean?
Fuck,
You need a guardian.
they okay, it keeps posing them like they're a pretentious asshole, and I know the game is really shoving like, Get Yankee! There's fucking Get Yankee! Everybody wants to play Get Yankee! Why can't it be a Dragonborn?
That's a good question.
I just noticed that.
Yeah, that's not an option, and it saddens me greatly.
Racism. God, now I want a Dragonborn for whatever the fuck this is. Now I'm upset. I'm upset about this now. People suck. Go with the dwarf. Oh, you randomizing the race? Oh, you motherfucker.
It randomizes by body type too, I've noticed, so... Oh, that's funny. I like that Githyanki. I got mine.
Hang on. Stay put, mouse. You didn't stay put. Say when. Damn it! Stop falling off!
Your bus keeps falling off. When?
Okay, I think I missed it a bit, but... Fine! Marcus. Go. I don't want to get back to this waiting for the players that I'm waiting for them. He looks so... moist.
Moist? Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
I know you have to like really wetten yourself up and really amp up the procedure of saying the word moist. because it makes people uncomfortable. Independence Day!
Yeah, pretty much.
Spelljammer. Yeah, not serving by spaghetti was enough. I could just bring my some spaghetti with me tomorrow. Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
It won't eat your brains!
Magic's weird.
Are we... Is our big bad game over? That is meta as fuck.
That'd be funny if it was.
We're gonna make Baldur's Gate 3. What are we gonna be fighting against? What's the plot? What's the plot gonna be? We're gonna fight the Three. What's that? Is that like some kind of like mystical like group of like ancient people or something
The
like
Three.
scary? No. The Three in Baldur's Gate 3 will be the big bad. I don't know whether to call you a fucking moron or a fucking genius. Hey, you stole my line. I said "nyig" my head. You have to say something else.
At the ready.
Oh, what? Okay, well, make that go away.
Might still be stuck inside if we hadn't been attacked.
Okay, am I the only weird person on the planet that actually likes Edge Scroll?
Where you? Oh, we use the mouse.
Yeah.
Did it escape?
You can say go to options. I know how to navigate to options, Leland. You only have to tell me how to get to options if they did something weird.
Yeah, it should be interface, I think.
Excuse me, Jesus Christ. I think some of the gas is due to the fact of the unfortunateness of eating a thing that I thought was gluten-free, and it's like, joke's on you, asshole, there's pretzel in there. It's like, mother.
It's in the gameplay tab again.
Smell of death.
It's in the gameplay tab. Edge panning.
What? You're coming in here screaming your mouths at me, but I know you don't like being in here when I'm talking in the microphone.
Dead. Good.
This cat, who loves to shed, I got up this morning and I saw an annoying hair like sticking off the side of my nose. And I first thought, it's like, it's probably a fur, or it's maybe one of my facial hairs that's just kind of sticking out weird. So just, trying to just like brush it down. It kept not going away. He got one of his furs stuck all the way up in my nose to the point it was basically at my sinus, and it started to mucus over it. I felt like I was pulling out part of my brain when I finally picked that fur out.
Jesus.
Oh, did we need to enable the Twitch extension?
I don't care.
But that way people can vote on what we're supposed to do.
And if we're popular, yeah, you just passed it. It's in camera options down there. Edge
What?
panning.
What? Ah. Boop. Boop. I remember looking at something else, and it was in talking about Civ, and
This is
people
the
were like,
pool
"Well, you
that
need to know how to
thing
play it
came
using
from.
the mouse to quit drag."
Parasite
It's
now
like,
writhing behind your eye.
is it strange to like Edge Scroll?
I personally don't, because I use multiple monitors. So I think it gets in the way, and I'm just trying to quickly click off something.
The casing is fragile. The slightest touch could cause it to crumble.
It has 10 health.
Oh God!
What'd you do?
It exploded.
And why did it hurt you and not me? We were both standing next to it.
I was speaking to it of sorts.
I didn't get to see you. Oh.
It's okay.
Let's see.
No, that means we're literally going to run to an option where guys going to be like, "What's the password?" And you're going to be like, "I punch you in the face." It's like, "Okay, fine." And then you walk up to the net, and then as we try to go in, he's just like, "What's the password?" It's like, I'm with that guy. What's the password? Oh my
I don't-
fucking god.
I haven't run into that specific interaction yet, but I don't think we are going to have that problem with this game, is what I'm told.
Also, why do you get a stick? If I want a stick.
You have a mace.
What are you talking about? I do. Why did they let me keep a mace?
That's a good question.
Lucky I made it out.
Why did you get to keep a stick? I mean, I understand why we have magic power, because they can't really confiscate that well.
More for me.
No, there's going to be a trap. Why do they have
Visions projected
gold?
to your mind. An autoloid hurtling through the plains, resplendent with psionic energy.
The fuck?
I was reading the rune on the table.
What the hell is a brine bulb? Why does it have hit points?
Brian Paul. What the hell is that?
I don't know, but it's got hit points. D&D rules. It's got hit points. That means it can be killed. I don't want my players to kill God. How do I keep them from killing God? Don't give them a stat block.
Oh. Oh, it's acid. Cool.
I helped. Alright,
Good.
that's
Not
really
BG
stupid.
anymore.
I just called there. Oh, that's how it was tutorialing. We could have rocked around there? Well, fuck, I feel stupid now.
You know what?
I didn't realize that I could just walk down to the left down there like you did. I thought I had to go all the way around.
Oh no, I jumped down.
I didn't know you could jump.
Jumping is amazing for this game.
I didn't know jump was a thing.
It's a bonus action in this game. I don't know
Also,
if that's
I would like to
right.
point out that I have a mace. And it's like, well, why did they let me have a mace? And I can see a mace on my back. But apparently I also have a shield.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck she puts that. Just boop.
Just comes
My
out.
inventory does not show a bag of holding. I don't know where it goes. Mod teams, modders, get me visible shields.
Invisible shields.
Visible shields. I already have invisible shields. I don't want invisible shields. Give me visible shields. I want to see all my shit.
Images of goblins, their habits and histories flash into your mind.
What are you doing to get this woman to yell at you?
See the thing next to the dead body on the table? That.
That's not under the table. That's
Images
that's
of goblins, their habits and histories flash into your mind.
I'm in a chair. Aquarium.
Horticulture.
It has hit points. You know what that means. Yeah. Take that over. I paid it
why
with exposure.
That's why I walked
Exposure
away from
mace.
it.
What?
That's why I walked away from it, because I didn't want it to explode.
Well, I had to pay the artist with exposure. Exposure to mace. Girl apparatus.
Doesn't do anything.
Help us.
No. Okay, apparently we are.
Doesn't do anything.
Brain jar!
Release us.
Pocket it. Take the brain! Where's take? Where's pick up? Jump, dip,
We are here.
shove, roll, melee dash, help. Disengage. There's no pickup. I want to add the brain jar to my inventory.
Oh, that's interesting. You can't add it to the inventory.
We are trapped.
If you right click,
Also-
you can only attack and examine.
Also, that brain is fucking big.
Yeah, that's fucking huge.
Help us.
Should we? Person's using brain speak. That means they're a mind flayer, right? That's how that works.
I'm glad I didn't know these things.
Release us.
What? What did you not know? What are you talking about?
I know where we are, but I didn't know what exactly it was I was talking to us.
It's the thing in the chair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally telling you it's right there. Like,
Yeah. Well, go talk to him.
dude, that brain jar is
We are
tall.
trapped.
They've got multiple brains, but they're smaller.
Odd.
Brains.
And a tentacle aquarium? No, it's a tentacle aquarium. What are you talking about brains? It's a tentacle aquarium. It's tentacles. It's hentai.
It's hentai. You know what?
I have been to enough anime nights to know what's going on. Excuse me.
Release us.
Why? I think you should. Private dialogue, I assume I clicked that to be like, no, Leland, you don't get to do that. I don't know why I ever hit that button.
Yeah. I'm watching your scene too.
Yes, you've come to save us from this place.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please,
Before they return!
they return. The enemy. So many enemies.
How do you know I'm not one? Huh? Huh?
Newborn. Born new from this husk.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the mind flayers who abducted you.
What would you do here? Think you're past the point to see, tell me what to do, destroy the brain, or just...
Well, what I
Yeah.
would do here is throw it at you.
To
See what would happen.
Yeah. Hi, Adam.
But I'm going to assume the game will not let me have a pet intellect devour, so I'm just going to mace it. Mate, why didn't you use the mace? You have a mace. Use the mace. I would have just used the mace.
I would have too. I'm surprised you use your hands.
Cool blow.
You did. You killed the first thing you saw. Got it.
It was. I passed a check. The DM said it's an intellect devour, and I looked the DM straight in the eyes. I looked in, gazed into his soul, and could tell you're not going to let me have that as a pet. So.
Okay, now what?
I need experience in hentai. The combat log keeps constantly telling me about a chest taking some acid, and it doesn't take acid damage because it's a fucking chest. Oh my god, Leland, you're here too.
Yeah, I exist.
Nation, this is your end.
We get it. Think it's
Your
young here,
head
cool.
drops and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
My head. What is this? Skvar. You are no thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
What was your first clue? The lack of tentacle face?
I like how you're completely obstructing me.
We carry mind flayer parasites. Unless we escape, unless we are cleansed, our bodies and minds will be tainted and twisted. Within days, we will be Geich, mind flayers.
I could fix that problem. It's called a mace.
We can do nothing until we escape. That must be our priority. First, we exterminate the
Are you allowed to
Then we
interject
find the
in the
helm and take
conversations?
control of the ship.
Interject.
We will address the matter of a cure for this
Like when it's
infection
sitting there
once we
asking for
reach
a
the
dialogue
material
option, can
plane.
you be the one? Can you select dialogue options?
I think I can suggest. That's best. If you're leading, I think the other players can suggest what to pick. But
Okay.
yeah. Combat. My favorite.
Combat. It's D&D, right?
Yeah, just go.
Okay. Let's see here. 20. This is D&D. I put it to Imperial. The system D&D works. That means I need to be dealing with sacred fives. None of these decimals. None of this 24 feet. Fives. Fives only. No other measurement is allowed. No other measurement exists. 5 foot, that's it. And any intervals of 5 foot from that. Oh my god, Leland, a change from Divinity. Our initiative that can actually fucking matter.
Yeah, we're all close, so we can all go as a group.
Well, no, if you build your character to have a high initiative, but I also build my character to have a high initiative, we'll both have a high initiative. Whereas in Divinity, if we both were a high initiative, one of us, it was pointless to do that because it only matters for picking the first guy to go first.
Yeah.
Because it decides, well, you have initiative 7,000, so you'll go first. This guy with initiative 2 will go next, and then your friend over there with initiative 6,500 will go, and then this guy with initiative 2 will go, and then your friend with initiative 6,300 will go next, and then this guy with initiative negative 1,000 will go, and then your friend with initiative 5,000 will go, and then this guy with initiative negative quintillion will go.
I like that Adam just says, like, during the talk with the third character here, he just says, "Shh, Leland, the main characters are talking." They're like, yeah, okay. I'm just along for the ride.
Basic attack, because you're the other person.
Now what did you do?
Ooh. Loot. God, it's so wrong.
What?
It's 23.5, 22, 22.1. It's so wrong. I don't want to see it. It doesn't exist. Where did the thing go? I thought I had to. Yeah. Split. There.
What did you do?
I used
Oh.
where was it? Sacred Flame. I used Sacred Flame at. Okay. Go there. Yeah. Basic attack. What's doing? Whack it.
Nothing now.
You proved surprisingly adequate in battle. Now, to the helm.
Where were they carrying these? Oh, I guess one did shoot me with one. Okay. Never mind. I retract the comment. Question, Leland.
What's up?
Do we have party inventory?
No, it is not shared outright, but we can just... Sorry, like Divinity, we can just give each other stuff.
I remember it was a hassle doing it. Look, I was very bothered by Divinity by a bunch of small things that got under my skin.
Divinity 2 specifically is so meticulous about how to play it that it's just like, there's no wiggle room. There's
And when
very
it
little
also
like.
sat there and been like, yeah, you can play co-op with your friends. Don't worry, the experience is going to be really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like when we played Old Circle, and you're like, yeah, we can play that on the co-op game and do co-op stuff with it. And I'm like, cool. It's like the co-op is I get to show up and let you fight one thing.
Another dragon attack. We need to get out before it's too late.
I thought we were co-oping.
Yeah, for the important part, the boss fights.
Okay, there's a short sword and a simple robe.
That's simple.
I assume you are you are AC of at least simple robe or better.
I am at that level, yes.
Can you even use a short sword?
I don't think I'm proficient in said sword. Let me double check. No, I can use daggers, light crossbows, and quarterstaffs. I'm not proficient weapons.
Okay, what strength do you have? What's your strength? What's your carry capacity?
Strength is 8.
Strength is 8? Okay, I'll haul shit.
Yeah, just... Yeah, I was gonna let you carry most of the things.
Push, push, push. I really want to.
Istik, back! Touch nothing without knowing its purpose.
Touch everything? Got it.
We have no
What's it
time
worth?
for stragglers.
What's it worth to you? Sorry, Courage Cowardly Dog moment. What's your offer?
No! Wait!
What'd you say?
I just left. I didn't say anything. So she
Oh,
was
okay.
like, oh, I'm being left behind. It's like, oh, I'm not. I haven't made up my mind about it yet.
The man isn't dead, but he's
Sacrifice
totally
cultist. He's sapped.
unresponsive.
Sap. I don't remember that being a condition. Do magic at it.
At what?
Give it a magic. The dude's all dazed. Give him a magic. Huh.
The guy next to me?
Come back here. Come back here.
We are one.
Come back here. Get back here. Get. Come. Get back here. Brain ran away. What did you do?
I'm the magic guy. I have to buff people. Or me.
To be fair, we both have magic.
Brain in a jar.
Oh my god, I got to pick that one up? Oh, oh. Yay! Leland, I got a brain in a jar. It's in my pocket.
Okay. Are you gonna keep
can
that
pick up
the
the one
entire
with
game now?
I missed what you said. I was telling you to pick up the ones with green goo.
I say, good. Now you're gonna keep that for the rest of the game.
Probably. Unless somebody looks at it and be like, I will give you 700,000 platinum for that brain, then I'll consider it. I bet they don't even use anything other than gold in this game. Because nobody wants to deal with the economics.
What did you touch?
You have initiative 5?
You do or I do?
I think it said that you had initiative 5, you speedy boy.
How? Oops.
I don't know. Unless that's what the NPC has, and she has initiative +5. Well, that's just because she's a Githyanki, and everybody want to be like, the Githyanki are so cool, and it's like the game's being really heavy-handed about it.
I have initiative
I'm
plus.
not saying you can't like Githyanki, it's just I never just always kind of like, yeah, they're a thing. fucking 73.2? The fuck is that? I think you mean 75. Don't rely on me to give you any measurements, because I'm probably just going to round everything up to a 5-foot increment.
No, you're making the game. No, that's not how that works. Never mind.
It's D&D. It's all in 5 feet. So you know that. You've played D&D. It's all 5 foot.
Not because we make it 5 feet. It doesn't have to be.
The rules say it's 5 feet. It's not that we made it that way. It's that Gygax made it that way. He had a candle. Made a gold that wasn't money gold. It was just a gold.
Well, all gold is money gold.
No, it wasn't a money gold. It was just a gold. I pushed
Another mystery.
how it doesn't think. How did you do that? How did you skill check the thing?
I failed all of these. Click on the sigil above the button. There you go.
Oh.
Another mystery. Can't read this script. Annihilate.
That one says annihilate.
Is that the one you pressed?
I technically pressed all 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
Leland, it's a D&D, and there were buttons that said they could be pushed. You know they were all going to be pushed. I know Adam will back me up on that.
Think they're cool, I guess. I'm very much in the camp of not feeling strong about them one way or the other. I'm also in that boat.
Just the game made it really obvious that it's like, yeah, we're going to be like, once again, Yagi.
Faint images.
Do you have
appear in
thievery?
your mind, a brain, a
Do I have Dex?
That's what
Yes.
Ivy calls it, right? Do they still call it sleight of hand?
It's a bit of both, but it's mostly sleight of hand.
Okay, do you have that?
I have. Let me check my character sheet, like, actually. So I have +1 to that.
Because there's a locked box. I got 0 with that. Big ol' O.
Yeah. Well, we're also stuck in the thing of we don't have thieves' tools, so we can't unlock it yet.
You are so picky. Well, can I do this? Nope. Okay.
Medium toughness. The material is unusually strong. A hit that deals at least 22 damage can damage it.
My edge scrolling's already turned itself off.
Did you click the game first?
What do you mean click the game? I'm in the game.
Yeah, it's on too. So I'm wondering how that happened.
Okay.
Oh, I guess
we
you
hit
just
the thing?
turned off.
I know this person's over here, like, we need to hurry, and we've already not hurried because it's like she clearly doesn't understand what a D&D session is.
It's actually like, this is actual D&D. We're standing here trying to figure out what to do. Oh dear. Mysterious liquid.
Yeah. I mean, I pushed all the things.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Okay. What does
Well,
that tell
we
you?
had a fight.
We did have a fight.
I pushed all the things. I don't know. She should stop yelling.
Faint images appear in your mind. A brain, a Githyanki warrior, and centuries
Oh, there's
of
that thing.
darkness.
You could probably shove your... Yeah, I have to shove my brain in there, so I'm not going to do that. It's my brain. Well, she never told me what she'd give me if I let her go.
You didn't ask.
So... It didn't let me ask that. That
Then
was
you
not
didn't
enough.
ask. Just because you thought it doesn't mean exactly what that means.
Yes, it does. You've never played an RPG on a computer. You sit there and yell at the game too. One of these days, we're gonna have these games where that's gonna happen, and then all hell's gonna fucking break loose.
Yeah,
and then there's gonna be so many people that are
actually
like,
want
"Why
to
did
do
I
it."
romance the character?" It's like, because you're an unappealing piece of shit.
I wish a game had the balls to tell the player that, because you suck.
I'd be curious though. It's entirely possible if that happened, you'd actually end up with a positive output where people would be able to build up confidence in talking to people for those situations they find awkward because they were able to talk to a computer person, so they were able to practice it.
Voices.
I can be hopeful, damn it. Another brain in a jar. Oh shit, I didn't pick it up because it wasn't a thing there, but I just remembered that one item that I thought was a thing was actually a homebrew that Tony has. Fuck.
Could mean anything.
My Sunday campaign, the GM was a little annoyed that the healing potions didn't really scale that much, so he made elixirs so they do D8s instead of D4s.
Oh, that's nice.
Could mean anything.
And it's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to find that in here because that was a homebrew. She doesn't notice us sleeping. God, motherfucker. Are you gonna shove your face in that? You gonna do it?
I am.
You started a conversation. Now listen.
Oh, you can just click on me. Okay, that works.
As you place your hand on the pod, you hear something. A presence connected to the pod, commanding the person
so
inside
shiny.
to change.
Oops. Adam's an enabler.
We need to get out of here before it's our turn.
Hey, I got one of those. I took my working genius test and said I had wonder and enablement.
Already finished.
Well, that's all we can learn here.
It's level 8, but it's in a box.
Oh, so we just lose if it gets out? That's funny.
Probably. Well, I mean, it's 5e. We have 3 party members. We do have a superior action economy. I'm trying to walk past it, not close it. We do have a superior advantage on action economy. Which, if you listen to a lot of people, especially the people that want a power game 5e, that's all that matters. We have more action economy, so therefore we could defeat, like, fucking, like, adult dragons. Having an advantage of action economy is actually still a legitimate, significant advantage in 5e. It's just not the be-all, end-all.
Oh, yeah.
I still maintain Ancient Green Dragon. If you play with the strategic mind of what he has as his lair and his lair actions, and you do it in his lair, is going to be really hard to deal with because he's one of those monsters. Like, my turn. I'm on the battle map. I do my thing. I'm off the battle map. Your turns. My turn. I'm on the battle map. I do my thing. I'm off the battle map. Your turns.
Damn it!
What now, Tom?
Like that forever ago when I had you guys fight a shadow dragon in an environment a shadow dragon wants to be in. And it's like, okay, we fight the dragon. It's like, yes. Where's the dragon? You don't get to know what square he's in. It's like, but I have perception, dark vision. Yeah, it says he's in dark fog. Therefore, he's cannot be seen, even with sea invisibility. Because he's not actually invisible. He just can't be seen.
Oh yeah, I remember this conversation. It's just like, that doesn't compute. How can I find something we can't literally see?
You just have to guess what square he's in. Technically, in that setup, if somebody would have had wind magic, they could have cleared out squares of the fog, and then he just would have been there. Are you going to shove your face in it?
No, you have to.
I mean, it's tentacles and it's mind flayers, so I assume you have to shove your face into it. Do we leave her there screaming so she can die with the ship, or do we make her do a mind flare and let her die with the ship?
You're literally player one. I'm following you here.
I'm asking your input. This is D&D. It's not a one-person adventure. You're here with me. Damn it, Leland! Why do you keep doing your same role that you do in our RPGs? And just
I was reading Adam's thing. Sorry. Hold on. Let me tell you what he said. Then I'll actually answer your question. Almost TPK'd my Tuesday group with a yellow dragon because the exploding sodium breath when it hits water. Oh yeah. Fought the party in coastal area. Party had to run away.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. My opinion is to help her.
Okay. I will use the character that didn't want to help. I don't know why that brings me pleasure. We don't have time. We can't do this. I select you and have you hit the button. You have no agency.
You guys are so petty sometimes. It's so funny. I can't wait for tomorrow. I have no idea what the chaos is going to be like.
There's one way to find out. Oh, we can Arcana.
Skill checks.
Ugh! Ugh! That took a while.
Pulsing glow and organic. This device is different from the one that caused the other captive to transform. Perhaps it will open the nearby pod.
We shall now perform science.
Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. A parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
Why even bother roll? He's got a plus. A tip for people that are DMing: if you are gonna make the roll so simple that anybody could pass it, or there's zero consequence of failure, don't ask for a roll.
Right?
You feel the biomechanical brain of the console process your command and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
Man, was our companion bare-ass cheating it?
Who?
Our companion.
Oh, her? Well, not the one that fell down. Her? No,
No,
she's
it's
not.
Yucky.
No, she's not.
At last.
Are you sure?
Oh, you know what? I am not 100% sure. After a closer look, I have no idea.
That's fucking weird. Ugh. Talk to her.
Adam, is it just me, or do you get facial features remind anyone else of who's from how the from the who's from How the Grinch Stole Christmas? That is the vibe I get sometimes, especially with her.
So I just want my character to be like, I did it.
Why did you help me?
I told them to because it's funny. How would this person probably respond? They'd
Sounds
probably
in line
respond
with
like
what I've
that.
heard about your kind. I'm grateful. But don't expect me to be your pawn just because you freed me. We both need all the help we can get. Let's try to get off this thing together.
First you beg for help, then Cassidy, now you want to join me. You're an odd one.
Wait. You're not actually the one in charge of this group, are you? No offense, but I need to speak to a leader. Someone who knows where they're going. I'm afraid not. Good luck to you. I'll take my chances alone.
Okay, I'm right there! I'm right fucking there! Right there!
Yeah, you're back here.
It was in the background!
Yeah?
Honestly, you could actually see both. That's dumb. That's dumb. That is dumb. That's dumb.
So, now your character should be able to talk to her still, though. So.
Okay, good. I don't have to redo the exact same conversation like in Divinity.
We can get off this ship.
No, this one's a little smarter about that.
Which is good. Are you picking up the thing you just picked up? You just picked that up.
It's nothing. Trust me.
Enough of this chatter. We need to get to the helm. Now.
She's
Don't
right.
lie to me. You have a D20.
Lead on.
Why does she get an inspiration die? Wait a minute. Can you not?
Nope, I just here for the ride.
Really, I can't tell you take control of somebody. I have to deal with them all? Really? That's kind of lame. What if I need to share the bird? Fucking edge scroll, why do you keep... Oh my god, that's annoying!
This is why I turned it off.
Apparently, as soon as we go into a scene or something, it stickies it to have edge scroll not work until I move it with the mouse keys. Then I can edge scroll.
That makes
sense. Am I literally the only person on the planet that actually likes doing edge scroll?
You might be, dude.
What the fuck is wrong with edge scroll?
Again, I have like pseudo ADHD. I do other shit. I don't want the screen to move when I click off the game.
Okay, that's a perspective. That represent the planet.
No, I'm not gonna say it does. But,
and I'm not saying that your opinion is invalid. I literally talked over them with them saying a thing. We're going in the hole. Into the anus.
Are you ready to...
Are we ready to go into the anus? We're going into the anus. I like how we had to run in and you just got to just be there, posing.
I'm just here for the ride.
But you weren't even there for the ride. It's like, I'd be here first. And you even did. You had that little pose that said, I'm here first. You looked like a YouTube commenter that wanted to say, first.
We must escape. Now.
Do it. We will deal with the Geich after we escape.
This thing's falling fast. Got to right it.
Get close enough. My nose is leaking like crazy. Why don't I have to deal with it all? Why can't you take? Why can't you control? Why can't we do 2 and 2? I could give you a wind, and then I could have a wind, and then we could be winds, and then our other winds could probably just not like each other that much.
Investigation failed. That's funny.
Yeah, you got no fucking idea what you're looking at.
Okay, I'm going to end my turn here because I'm definitely not going to be the one to go first. However, we do need to get across the room in 15 turns.
So you could just wait until something happens rather than just be like, I'll just end my turn and do nothing?
I have not found the way to, like, hold...
You literally sit there and hold. I don't know how else to tell you that. Like, you just wait for them to go, and then you go.
I would love to do that, but I don't know how you have the character wait.
I'm telling you how you have the character wait. You're doing it right now.
Best be on my way.
You're bad. You're bad at this game.
I'm just muscle memoried into two-finger scroll at this point.
Is that Adam?
Yeah.
Well, Adam also uses trackpad when he plays something like
Anything?
League of Legends. So he's already a weirdo.
Since I don't want to click off the game, I want to look it up.
What are you looking at?
Edge scrolling and running is good. I'll call it panning since that's it actually. Camera movement discussion. Edge panning versus keyboard control. Up, it's my turn. I will wait.
Yeah, as soon as we change like camera or activity state, it turns off edge scroll. What do you find, Leland?
I'm skimming 1 second. Oh, okay. It wasn't a bad discussion. That was probably the most decent Reddit thread I've ever read.
Picture didn't happen.
Paste it.
It's clear. Hurry before they strike.
Oh, my turn's over because the enemy's now.
Leave him to me.
But he saved.
Apparently, I am the one
That's
with
fun.
the wrong opinion. That's interesting.
Your spine is
Nearly out of
mine.
the sky.
Ignore the devil.
It's now or never.
We must take the transponder.
You always want to tell me what to do. What? Did you just whop me? Is that what that was?
Yeah, that was me. Okay.
Cool. That mind flayer is like really sucking at combat.
Because when you don't get good rolls, you don't get good rolls.
Well, he also told the other dude to make a save. He also told the dude to make a save, and he just passed it. Like,
Oh, that's interesting.
look at mind flayer. I can throw shit at him if I want to.
Apparently, I'm in the wrong.
Who's?
I am. More people, because of like how PC is, most people use Edgepan.
Haha! So fuck you. You're the strange one.
Yeah, especially for strategy games, a lot of people like Mazda for like hitting abilities rather than, you know, camera movement.
Stuck it.
I'm okay with that.
You're the weirdo, not me.
I have
One of us
absolutely
was the weirdo, no matter what, but
The
it's you, not me.
transponder.
Yeah, it's
We
me.
made it in time.
For me, it's just an old habit. I'm used to Mazda for movement and everything, so the fact that when it comes in, it depends on the game for most people, but I'm also like, I don't use my abilities like that. Adam, I use trackpad to get an art degree. I'm a full-on sociopath. Trackpad
No, I
everything.
think it's much more of that astral brain. I think is what Adam is. 'Cause that's a step up above galaxy brain, right?
Astro Blade from Brain from Galaxy Brain? I would say that. I wonder how many people would agree though.
Do you not mage hand?
No, I didn't pick that up in my spellbook.
Okay. I suppose it can excuse your lack of cutscene action. So you're falling, and it's like, couldn't you just... It's out of reach, but couldn't you have just magicked a hand there? Of course, if you were going to say, well, yeah, I could have, then I'd been like, then why did we do all of that encounter when you could have just been mage hand? Done. See? See my point about magic?
It's magic, like any tool. It's good in many places.
Leland, join me. Come on, Leland, get down here. We're gonna have a beach episode.
Beach episode. This isn't season 2 yet.
Hey, we've watched some that have done it in season 1.
Because they can't get too far with their actual plot and then just go.
As
This
you
is what
wait,
we're doing now.
the tadpoles squirm.
And to be
in
fair,
the
we did
sky.
watch one that had its beach episode in its first episode, in its second
Other
episode,
than the
in its
infection,
third
they're more or
episode,
less
in its
intense.
fourth episode.
The
I don't think they did it on their
miracle
fifth
of everything
episode,
you've been through,
but then they
but
did it
it'll
on the
be
sixth
for nothing
episode.
If you don't find help soon. The tadpole is a death sentence, and the clock is ticking. You need a cure.
Oh, hello.
The diving show.
Yeah. The diving one, which oh man, I want to admit that is my most memorable, one of the more memorable anime we've watched ever, because like it has two sides to it. Because one side is chill, the other side is turns the dial up to 15, and it's just like, how the hell?
I mean, it's just entertaining.
Yeah, it's just actually entertaining. But we need to stop because it's 11 p.m.
Yeah. Well, fuck.
Breathe deep and move.
Too late.
You're doing a plot. Stop.
No, too late. She's gotta die. I want to roll it. Because I know if I try to reach for it, that
You're
means that
alive.
she could knife me in the throat, and I don't.
alive.
That's unacceptable.
Adam, that's not
She's
fair.
dead for it.
That is not
Let me make
fair,
sure she's
Adam.
dead. I'm not gonna get knifed in the throat.
I
was hoping Adam wouldn't point that out.
remember falling.
We needed the true D&D option to that question there, and I'm upset it wasn't there. All I had were the options are, I was hoping you knew, or it doesn't matter, we're alive. And there should have been option 3. Clearly, a wizard did it.
Listen to what Adam says.
No, I don't recognize
You
this
have
place.
Leland as the solo male and
anything's an
3 other
improvement on
females
where
in
we
the
just
party.
came from.
Yeah, about time for a
First
beach
things
episode.
first. We need
Then he says,
supplies,
how's it feel to be a harem
We might have
protagonist?
escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
Dude, it's anime. The females can only les at each other. It's clearly you're in the harem.
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
Roll the die, then.
One thing, just before we go,
When can I
I
tell her
wanted
to
to
roll the
thank
die?
you again for freeing me.
It's shaped like a die,
It would have
therefore
been
it
all
needs to
too
be
easy
rolled.
for you to run right past my pod,
Take control of her and roll
but you
it.
didn't. I'll remember that.
But I want to be
Lead the
able to do
way.
it in dialogue. I want to just be able to look at her and she can be like, oh, so I have insight in this situation. Roll the die! That way she can just look at me and be like, what? Roll it! You have a die, roll it! That's not how it works. I didn't ask. Roll it.
Alright, we leveled up. Let's do that first.
We leveled up?
Yeah.
Oh my god, we leveled up. Okay. I can turn undead.
That's when you see saving throw against spells that require distance spell. Increase the range of spell by 50%, but it's also 30%, 30 feet. It's Stinted spell, double duration, condition summons, and services, twined spells. Toggle passive. Spells that only one can target additional feature. Ooh! Cost 1 sorcery point per slot level. Cantrips also cost 1 sorcery point. I do like twin spells. I also like distant. Let's go distant first. Oh, I can choose 2. Never mind.
You go around all that spell action.
Change. Accept. I have 16 health now.
Wait a minute. We're using average hit points, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah. I think.
Whoa! Let me cast the bones for my health. That's how I have a ranger that almost has all of the hit points of the party. Because my hit point rolls, I kid you fucking not, on that character have been 10, 10, 9, 10, 8, 9, and I think the last one was 8. And then there was one night where I rolled, and I got 1, I'm like, fuck, the end of an era, boys. And they're like, well, Tony's using that rule where you reroll the 1s. It's like, oh, there's a chance. Boom, hey, we're back in business, boys. Suck it, paladin and fighter. I think I have like 1 hit point more than the paladin. The fighter has me beat by like 4. Just on sheer weight of dice.
Alright. Oh, we'll see you next week, everybody. Hopefully. I don't think anything's stopping us from next week that I know of. Not me, anyway.
Not that I'm aware of, but who knows what life has in store to just make everything fucking dumb.
Yeah, that's what life do. Sometimes it's chill, just sits on the couch, doesn't bother you unless you go about your day. Other times it's knocking on you. Other time it's just gonna be in your face and
if it's anything like my
problem.
experience, it just kind of sits there, it just kind of hangs out, it kind of does its thing, and it goes, oh, you've interacted with the medical system? Bills, fuck you, bankruptcy time! I don't
Bye,
think that they
guys.
need bankruptcy, just that not the affected cross.
Yeah. Bye, guys.